Good evening and welcome to a Wednesday matchup here on the day before Thanksgiving between the Atlanta Gladiators and the South Carolina Stingrays. Good evening, everyone. Guy Chiarenza here from Gas South Arena, and we've got another good one on tap for you as the Stingrays and the Gladiators meet for the fourth time this season. Every single matchup in the prior three between these two have been decided by one goal, including Sunday's contest in which South Carolina took down Atlanta 3-2. This is the third game of a five-game homestand for the Gladiators as Atlanta enters the matchup with a record of 9-4. 18 points on the season has them setting in third place in the South Division. Gladiators have lost one game, that one loss coming to the Stingrays on Sunday. South Carolina, with their win to start the week, improved to 10-5 at 20 points on the year and are currently sitting in second in the South Division behind the Florida Everblades. As we mentioned at the top of the show, this is the fourth of 9 meetings between these two clubs this season. And again, the previous three have all been decided by one goal. Atlanta this season in one-goal games have a record of 3-3. So let's go back to last time out between these two clubs. Take you back to Sunday afternoon right here in this building. South Carolina came in and pulled out a gutsy 3-2 victory over the Gladiators. Anthony Furiolo got the scoring started for Atlanta, but South Carolina would strike twice before the end of the first period after Furiolo scored .350 in from Boudon and Walter. South Carolina got goals from Ludwig Persson and Caden Bolson before the end of the first period to take a 2-1 lead. No scoring in the second period. Both teams potted one on either side in the third, and it was not enough for Atlanta in the end as they ended up falling 3-2. South Carolina outshot the Gladiators 35-24. Ryan Nolan scored in the third period for the Gladiators, 3:41 in to tie the game up at 2, but at 4-4 action, Simon Pinard scored the game-winning goal for South Carolina. And so Atlanta will look to bounce back and get a little bit of revenge here on the day before Thanksgiving. TJ Septenfelter stopped 32 of 35 in the loss for the Gladiators. Another sensational day for Septenfelter. He has not finished a game this season with a save percentage below 900. Neither him nor Ethan Hyder, who we'll see tonight. But the key battle here tonight for Atlanta is going to be special teams. Feels like whoever wins the special teams battle, or really whoever scores a power play goal here tonight, might be the winner. Atlanta 0 for 5 on the power play as their power play woes continue. They go 5 for 5 on the penalty kill, though, as things are still red hot on Atlanta's PK. So South Carolina did trail first in yesterday's game, but you don't ever want to surrender the first goal to the Stingrays as they are 5-0 when scoring first. Ludwig Persson did have 1 goal and 1 assist yesterday for South Carolina, but interesting development here today. He will not dress for the Stingrays. He is on the trip, but he is not dressing here tonight. And so South Carolina will be without Persson here today, and he was a big factor for them in their win on Sunday. Caden Bolson did have the goal for the Stingrays. He will be back in the lineup, as will Simon Pinard, who scored the game-winning goal, and Kyler Kupka continues to be red hot for South Carolina with 2 assists on Sunday in what was his second multi-point game this season. Seth Isley got the start in net for the Stingrays on Sunday. He stopped 22 of 24, but another interesting development here today. Isley is not in town. He got called up to the AHL affiliate of the Stingrays, the Hershey Bears, this morning. So there is only one goaltender on the roster for the Stingrays here today, and that is Mitch Gibson. He will get the start. And so we have the odd and rare situation here today where an emergency backup goaltender, otherwise known as an E-bug, will be on the bench for South Carolina, and that is none other than the Gladiators' video coach, John Harrell. Stands at 5'11", 174. He is 44 years old, and he will wear number 30 for the Stingrays. And they are hoping that he does not have to make an appearance on the ice for them here tonight. But for all intents and purposes, he is the emergency backup goaltender for the Stingrays here today. When we come back here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network for the pregame show, we'll get to some of the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda with head coach Matt Ginn. We'll hear from Joey Cipollone on his red-hot weekend last weekend. And we'll get to the starting lineups between the Gladiators and the Stingrays here on a Wednesday night right before Thanksgiving. All that coming up on the other side of the break on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Duluth as we get set for the fourth meeting between these two teams this season. Had a chance to talk to Joey Cipollone earlier in the week. Today is college night here at Gas South Arena. Talked to Joey about his 2-goal performance against Greenville on Saturday and took a stroll down memory lane on his championship-winning team with Quinnipiac back in 2023. Here is Joey Cipollone. What's up, Glad Nation? Guy Chiarenza here with Glad's forward Joey Cipollone. Joey, you had a big weekend, 2 goals against Greenville. Tell me what you're seeing out there and what led to your success.
Yeah, just for me, it's always about playing a simple, direct game, and I'm a guy that takes pride in details and playing hard. So just trying to find the soft areas out there and just trying to be around the puck. And fortunately for me, I was able to make 2 good plays and was able to bury it in the back of the net.
Tough loss on Sunday. Close game against the Stingrays. You get them again here on Wednesday. What do you guys feel like you need to do differently this time around to get the victory?
Just hire people from the group. We're definitely a group that takes pride in playing the right way and playing defensive-minded. And we got a little away from that on Sunday, and credit to SoCo. I mean, there's a reason why they're one of the best teams in the league, and the exciting thing, like you said, is we got them again on Wednesday, so we have to go right back at it.
Wednesday night should be a fun one, and it is college night at Gas South Arena. You are a national champion with Quinnipiac. It's like a stroll down memory lane. What do you remember from that? I believe we may be having some network issues here at Gas South Arena, so we'll work through that as the night goes on. But it is college night here in Duluth, and so fans in the crowd wearing their school's colors here as Atlanta looks to get back into the win column here today and pick up win number 10 on the season over their rivals from the coast. Here are the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda. Spoke with Matt Ginn earlier in the day and thought that his team could have played a little bit better than the way they did on Sunday. So, first key is to play with some jam. Atlanta trying to play with some heart and purpose here today and get back into their groove here against a Stingrays team that can be very, very frustrating, especially when they have the lead. Second key is to win the net fronts. Gladiators throughout the course of the week, working on some tip drills and being more of a net front presence. We'll see if that comes into effect here today. And then the third key is to win the special teams battle. As we talked about before, Atlanta in the middle of a power play slump. They will try and fix that here today, as Atlanta has struggled to produce on the power play as of late, going 0 for 16 over its last 5 games and 1 for 31 over the last 9. So Atlanta trying to right the ship against the Stingrays here tonight on special teams, particularly the power play. And the Stingrays penalty kill is one of the bottom units in the league, operating at 77.1%. That's 24th in the ECHL. We'll see if they can get it done here today and finally score a power play goal. So those are the keys to the game with head coach Matt Ginn. Now let's get to the starting lineup between the Gladiators and the Stingrays. We'll start with South Carolina. We'll see if they have submitted their starters yet, as right now I have not gotten word on who the Stingrays starters are. So you can always go to the ECHL app and see if it has been brought up over there. So we've got some action here on a Wednesday night for you between these two South Division squads. Don't have starting lineup for the Stingrays, so we will get to the starting lineup for your Atlanta Gladiators. Starting at left wing is number 18, Carson Denemy, standing at 6'1", 194 pounds, native of Regina, Saskatchewan. Gets to start at left wing with 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 points in 13 games. His starting center here tonight is number 27, Mike McNamee, standing at 6 foot even, 200 pounds, native of Perth, Ontario. Has 1 goal and 5 assists for 6 points in 13 games this season. Ryan Francis will be his right wing here tonight, wearing number 86, standing at 5'9", 176 pounds. A native of Halifax, Nova Scotia. 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points in 13 games. That line will get the start for the Gladiators. On the back end, it'll be number 8, Ryan Conroy, paired up with number 2, Brendan Less. Conroy with 1 point on the season in 13 games. Less, the same stat line, picked up his first assist and first point in a Gladiators uniform in the loss on Sunday. And getting the start between the pipes for the Gladiators here today is number 31, Ethan Hyder, standing at 6'4", 190 pounds. The native of Maple Grove, Minnesota, has a record of 5-1, 2.14 goals against average, and a .930 save percentage in 6 games with the Gladiators. This will be his 7th start of the season. So we'll see if Hyder can pick up win number 6 between the pipes for the Gladiators here today. The last time that we saw Hyder, he stopped 23 of 25 in the 4-2 win against Greenville on Saturday. So we'll see if Hyder can get the Gladiators back in the win column. Other noteworthy changes for Atlanta here today. Riley Appelt is out. He is a scratch. Peter Morgan slides in, wearing number 55. He will be making his home debut here today for the Gladiators. Previous 2 games came on the road. And making his season debut here tonight for the Gladiators is number 11, Zach Yoder, native of Woodstock, Georgia. Stands at 6'5", 205 pounds. Yoder had spent the beginning of the season on injured reserve. He is active here today for Matt Ginn's Atlanta Gladiators. Coming out of the lineup is Jack Robilotti. So Yoder in, as is Morgan, and Appelt and Robilotti are out. Dylan Carabia and Kalen Lind are on IR. Matt Ginn is the head coach, and Zach Vanel is the assistant coach for the Gladiators. Gladiators come out of the tunnel wearing white jerseys with blue numbers and Gladiator gold trim. They will skate from right to left to begin play here tonight. It is a 3-man officiating crew led by Tyler Haskell. This is the first time that we have seen Haskell officiate a Gladiators game this season, as now we finally have the starting lineup for South Carolina. Getting the start is their first line. Number 17, Patrick Thomas, standing at 6'1", 185 pounds. Native of Oakville, Ontario, was assigned from Hershey to South Carolina earlier in the week. He did play in the game on Sunday. He has 1 goal in 3 games for the Stingrays this season. Starting center is number 18, Kyler Kupka, had 2 assists on Sunday. His right wing will be number 26, Caden Bolson, who has 5 goals and 1 assist for 6 points in 14 games this season for the Stingrays. On defense, it'll be number 27, DJ King, getting the start at left defense. King this season is returning to the Stingrays after being assigned to Hershey. Romain Rodzinski now spending some time up in the AHL on a PTO. So King's starting right defenseman is the native of Atlanta, Georgia, Connor Moore, wearing number 74. Now round out the starting 5 skaters for Dave Warsofsky's South Carolina Stingrays, and the goaltender between the pipes is number 34, Mitch Gibson, standing at 6'1", 187 pounds. Last time we saw Gibson, he shut out the Gladiators at North Charleston Coliseum. It was a 33-save shutout for Gibson in what was a 1-0 victory for the Stingrays. And so that is the starting lineup for Dave Warsofsky's South Carolina Stingrays. Assistant coaches are Scott Davidson and Mike Hamilton. Coming up next here from Gas South Arena is the national anthem.
Caps and stand with hands over hearts as we honor America and all the brave men and women who served our country with the singing of our national anthem. Thank you, everyone. Tonight's captains, please join us for the ceremony of the cup drop.
We are all set and ready to go from Gas South Arena. It is the Gladiators and the Stingrays for the fourth meeting this season. All three prior matchups have been decided by 1 goal, so it should be a good one here at Gas South Arena, as I am joined by Cooper Youngman on the call here today. We saw you back on Sunday. Good to see you back again here today. Happy to have you with me.
Good to be here again. It was a fun time last time.
It was an exciting game, just did not shake out in the Gladiators' favor. Hopefully today is a different story for Atlanta. They are wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers and Gladiator gold trim. The Stingrays are wearing their red jerseys with white numbers and blue trim. Pretty much a carbon copy of the Washington Capitals jerseys, who are their NHL affiliate. They will skate from left to right. We can play here today the Gladiators from right to left. And if you've seen the Nashville Predators 2020 Winter Classic jersey, that is essentially the carbon copy of what the Gladiators are wearing here today. And Nashville is the Gladiators' proud NHL affiliate. Noteworthy transactions for both sides. For the Stingrays, Romain Rodzinski up in the AHL, as is Seth Isley, who got the win for them on Sunday. So into the lineup comes Mitch Dielstra for South Carolina, as is DJ King. Will get the start at left defense, wearing number 27. And it seems like Ludwig Persson not in the lineup for South Carolina as well. That is a big blow to their offense, as he did have 1 goal and 1 assist in the game on Sunday. Josh Wilkins also out of the lineup for the second straight game for the Stingrays. For the Gladiators, into the lineup comes Zach Yoder, making his season debut. Peter Morgan gets back into the lineup for his home debut in his 3rd game of the season. Out of the lineup comes Riley Appelt and Jack Robilotti. 3-man officiating crew here today, led by Tyler Haskell, wearing number 8. Linesman Kyle Gaspari, wearing number 67, and Sean Galoe, wearing number 95. On the night before Thanksgiving, Both teams looking to head into the holiday with a win. Gladiators in the third game of a 5-game homestand. We will see Greenville here on Saturday and Sunday. For the Stingrays, this is the final game of a 4-game road trip. McNamee meets Kupka at center circle. Haskell will drop it. Stingrays win it. And away we go on Thanksgiving Eve. The Stingrays try and volley it into the Gladiators zone. McNamee got a piece of it, but out of all of that, South Carolina is offside. So we get an early whistle 9 seconds into the game. As we think back to the keys to the game, Cooper, from Matt Ginn. First, he was to play with some jam. What would you like to see the Gladiators do to start the game here?
I think that what they did really well is just get to the puck to the front of the net, try to get the rebounds. This goalie will probably pop out shots. We just got to get there.
Stingrays off the face-off victory, their second of the night. We're able to tap it into the Gladiators zone. It'll roll around to Denemy on the near side, who finds McNamee on the move. From the red line, he'll prod it into the far corner, where it's skating into it is Ryan Francis. And overskated a little bit. He was defended there by King. Does get back on it and finds McNamee behind the cage. McNamee able to slither away from the pressure from Moore. Gladiators toss it across the line and continue to cycle. I'll send it around the horn to the left wing. Francis giving chase. 2 Stingrays are there, and they are able to pry it free. Good work by Moore. And the Stingrays trying to merge out. Good active stick by Brendan Less. Forces a turnover. Puck does leak out to the neutral zone as Francis fights for it in front of the Stingrays bench. Udon comes in on the left side, looks for reinforcements, fresh off the bench. Furiolo has to pound it into the slot. Would not go, and so now Pinard rumbles down the right wing. Gladiators knife it away from him, and now here's Walter on the move. Tried to cut to the inside, but there to stuff him was Riley Webb. Shot from the high slot by Walter is turned away by Gibson after the Swedish forward got it back. Lipen for South Carolina, able to come back out to center. Walter tries to burst back in from the blue line. Boudon lifts it to the end wall. It'll tap down behind the cage, and the Stingrays will slide it all the way down to the right of Hyder. It'll go wide of the cage and be good enough for an icing. Looks like we had a pretty physical hit there that sent the Stingray down to the ice. That was Connor Mayer, now getting back up to his feet. And already early in this game, we've seen a little bit of nastiness. Stingrays have been in Duluth all week after playing the game on Sunday. So, Cooper, I think we might see some tempers flare here today, as we will not see the Stingrays again until late January.
Yeah, this team is feisty. They're going to try and get some anger out of us. We just got to not retaliate, get the dumb penalties.
Face off on the far circle. Gladiators will take it. Stingrays get it off the face-off. And again, it goes down the length of the ice. No icing this time. And Zach Yoder, making his first appearance of the season, will gather the puck behind Hyder. The native of Woodstock, Georgia, rushes it towards his right, send it across to Jarvis, and he will wire it in. The Gladiators try and get something going here offensively in the early stages of the game. Big hit by Conroy at the right point. Shot is shoveled towards the net. Boomerang's back up top to Burns. He'll find Jarvis. Left point shot goes wide of the slot. He was looking for a tip-in, and it'll be forced back out to center by the Stingrays. Jarvis deals it in on the right corner. Cipollone plays from low to high. Poked away by Guzzo. And so they'll have to restart things from the neutral zone. Peter Morgan slinks into the offensive zone, tried to dish a pass to the high slot. Stingrays got a piece of it as Hofer comes charging into Gladiators territory. We have our first penalty of the night with a whistle coming with 17-18 left in the first. And it looks like they're going to get Ryan Conroy. He will take a seat. And in the opening 3 minutes of the contest, South Carolina will have the game's first power play.
Buckle up, we're on the penalty kill.
I believe interference was the call on Conroy. And so we will see this Gladiators penalty kill unit that has been so good in the early goings of the night. Third best penalty kill in the league, 90.7%. As South Carolina tries to feather across to the right corner, they do. Just a touch out of the reach of Pernard. Les tries to take advantage and does pin it up against the wall. Stingrays are able to swindle it away. They turn it over, though, as Cipollone able to race out of the zone with Denemy. Those two fly down the left wing. Stingrays get it back, and they will start their next breakout here on the power play. Stingrays power play operating at 18.4%. 13th best in the ECHL. Thomas, top of the right circle, surveys, and flings it to the left wing for Pinard. They'll connect with Lipin and back up to the line with Moore. Back to Lipin, creeping on in. He'll snap a shot into the glove of Hyder. And time will stop with 1:18 left on the Stingrays power play. Hooper, last time we had you in the booth on Sunday, the Gladiators went 5 for 5 on the penalty kill. Good start here so far as they do get that opening clear. What have you seen out of this Gladiators power play that makes it so good?
They make shots from the outside, not in front of the net. Make sure they cover the backdoor guy.
Stingrays win the face-off. Mayer gets to the half wall on the left side. Thinks things over, plays it behind the net to Cooley. Pass from low to high is intercepted by Yoder, and he will fling it down for a Gladiator clear. Mayer with it back in his own end, and the Stingrays have been facing some power play woes of their own. They are 0 for 7 on the power play over their last 3 games on this road trip of theirs. This is the final game of that 4-game stretch away from home. As Bolson has a drop pass on the right side. Mayer at the right point fires, deflected in front of Hyder. The puck is loose. Gladiators clean it up. Stingrays get it back to the right circle. Bolson a shot over the net. Held in on the left wing. Breen quickly to the left circle. Wanted Howard Chuck, but the Gladiators were able to poke it away from him. Stingrays keep the play alive at the line. 15 seconds left on the penalty to Conroy. Olsen tangled up with Burns on the near side half wall. Now Jarvis joins the fray and gets pinned up in the corner by Howard Chuck. Puck is ripped away by Burns, and the penalty will expire. Atlanta 1 for 1 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill.
Full strength.
Another job well done for the Gladiators on the PK. Back to 5-on-5 as Nychuk intercepts a puck at the red line, widers it in to the right of Gibson. The netminder will try and shovel it out, and the Stingrays are on the move. Krenzen on the left wing, next with Locus. He'll direct the puck in. It'll roll around to the right side where Hofer tries to spar for it. Shot from below the right circle by Guzzo goes wide. Francis picks it up on the far wing and deals it over to Nychuk behind the cage. Nychuk under contract with Milwaukee, gets to the red line. He's able to tip it down near Gibson, who comes out to play it again. Heaves it to the right wing wall and was out of the crease as a shot from Denemy hurled toward the net, but was able to get back in time and get a little bit of help in front of him. Puck stays out. We're still scoreless with 14:12 left in the first period. Sparring match for the puck on the near wall on the Stingrays end. Nychuk working hard with Mike McNamee. Francis tries to emerge, but Stingrays have a little bit more muscle, and they'll bang it back down near Hyder and get off for a line change. Conroy brushes it towards his right. Walter tries to gain the red line. Kuka making that a little bit difficult, so Walter plays it back. Les from the left wing. Tattoos it off the end wall. It'll thud behind the net where King will try and reel it in and deal it out. Gladiators get in front of it. Second clearing attempt is good from the Stingrays. It'll be retrieved by Conroy, the product of Yale. Spent 3 seasons there. Throws a big check in the near corner. Shoved Patrick Thomas into the boards. And the fans howl in approval. Conroy with it on the left wing. Tries to come flying out of the zone. Stingrays make that difficult, so Louis Boudon will take in a drop pass and get a lay of the land as both teams make a partial change. Boudon will drop it off for Les, get off to the bench. And on comes the line of Young, Cipollone, and Burns. Here is Joey Cipollone flinging it across ice for Young. Puck glanced off of his stick, couldn't quite hang on to it. Couple of quick passes, and Breen is on the move. Pulls up at the top of the right circle, tries to spit a shot towards the net. It gets blocked. And now Burns tried to sashay his way into the attacking zone. That gets thwarted. Now another big check is thrown on the near boards. This time it's Jarvis taking down Lipen. Things getting physical here in this game between these two rivals. 12:16 left in the first period. No score from Gas South Arena. We are back in 1 minute on the Gladiators Broadcast Network in Duluth.
Let's join him in
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Still no score here in Duluth. Approaching 8 minutes gone by here in the first period. Face off to the left of Hyder. And it is won by the Stingrays. Shot from the line by Mayer into the catching glove of Hyder. Low line drive. Picked up with the glove. We'll do it all again on the near circle. Before we went to break, Cooper, we were talking about the physicality in this game. We've seen some big hits thrown already. Tell me a little bit about what you saw there.
Oh, they just like to play the body. They're trying to get the guy off the puck. This leads to chances.
Gladiators have been physical to start the game. Stingrays trying to get something going offensively. They were forced back out to the neutral zone. As Burns lofts a puck into Stingray territory. Pass to the neutral zone. Makes its way to Pinard. Has some room for a shot on the left wing. That is turned away by Hyder. Nychuk gains neutral ice. Pushes it towards his right where Young will rip it around the boards. Wanted Cipolone in the near corner, but puck was a tad out of his reach. Third attempt from the Stingrays hits Scardina. Second attempt gets out to the neutral zone. Atlanta takes it in. Scardina on the left wing gets to the circle, feeds it to the slot, just out of reach for Nolan. They're able to hang on to it though. Scardina dangles a backhand shot. Just goes over the far corner of the goalpost. Good shift there for Scardina and company, and it's not over yet. Pokes it to Nolan, dangling it on the left side. Can't get around Krenzen. At the left point, Conroy plays it across for a shot by Les off the end wall. Scardina is there to reel it in. Finds Nolan on the left wing. Up high is Conroy. Feathers it to the slot. Hits Morgan. Scardina turns and shoots. Hits a body and plops down behind Gibson. Nolan from low to high finds Les. Back to the middle for Conroy. Quick touch and Nolan cycles. Plays the puck a little bit and shoots. He'll score! Ryan Nolan gets the scoring started. It's his third goal in as many games. So just as they did on Sunday, the Gladiators strike first. Ryan Nolan with a nifty move to the high slot, gains some room and fires. And he hits the back of the net, and the Gladiators pick an early 1-0 lead. 10:31 left in the first period. Ryan Nolan's got his 5th goal of the year. And the crowd is serenading Mitch Gibson. Good goal there from Ryan Nolan Cooper. Lefty move to gain some separation. How about that shot?
That shot was good. Right where the goalie couldn't catch it. He just saw room, decided he had a wide open lane, just fired it, nifty top shelf.
Ryan Nolan now on a 3-game goal-scoring streak. And he has given the Gladiators a 1-0 lead
And we've got the Atlanta
in this contest.
First goal of the game is the Hancock Whitley's first goal of the game. Brought to you by number 24, Ryan Nolan. His 5th of the season. And
Nolan's goal is assisted by Louis Boudon.
Number 29, Boudon.
9:29 into the first period. Stingrays trying to get that one back. Shot from the right point into traffic. Gladiators are able to clean up in front of Ethan Hyder. Denemy finds a man in the middle. Streaking ahead is Francis. Peels back a bit. Able to deke away from the pressure at the line, but there's too much Stingrays for Francis. Loses a hand on it and heads towards the bench. Krenzen winds it around Hyder. On the far wall, Yoder springs it out to the neutral zone. Ends up coming back to number 11, so he'll shimmy it along the right wing wall for Boudon. Louis Boudon makes his way to the high part of the far circle. Stingrays rip it away. Here's a breakaway for Bolson. Bolson to the net, and Hyder takes away the angle. Ethan Hyder has been money so far to start the night. A lob pass makes its way to Walter. Couldn't quite grasp it on his way towards the net. Boudon loses the puck on the far wall, and the Stingrays spring back into action. Bolson on the right wing. He'll go around the net. Bolson holds and shoots, and Hyder is able to absorb it. High riser, no problem. Freezes with 8:41 left in the opening frame. Ryan Nolan gets the scoring started. 8:41 left in the first period, and Atlanta has the lead. We are back in just a moment on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
Everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Gladiators have the lead. Another first period goal, same as they did on Sunday. And are looking for a better result here today. And talking to Matt Ginn throughout the course of the week, Gladiators weren't really happy with the way that they performed on Sunday. Looking to change that here today. Here's a break for Cipolone, looking for Burns in the middle. And the pass just went through his legs. Couldn't quite reel it in. Gladiators playing with a lot of jam to start the day. That was one of Matt Ginn's keys to the game, presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda. Although South Carolina does lead the shot count 5-3. Young on the right wing, gets to the right circle, tried to find a man in the middle. That was a bit too far ahead of Burns, who's been driving the net over the last few chances offensively. Now Pinard will turn up ice. Drives it down low for Leip, and he gets blasted by Cipolone. He has bounced off the puck, and Atlanta heads up ice. Nychuk from the red line comes barging in. Caught up between a few Stingrays and forced off of it, but good try there for Nychuk. And now Krenzen over the red line will lift it down near Hyder. Netminder comes out to play it. He'll shovel it to the near wing for Morgan. Shot by Cooley. His stick breaks. Has to get off to get a new one. Krenzen a shot off the leg of his own man in Howarchuk, and the Gladiators will clear the zone. Klimek across to Krenzen. Dump and attempt hits a stick and goes to the end wall. Jarvis is there to grab it for Atlanta. There's a turnover in front of the net. Chance for the Stingrays. Guzzo is backdoor. Gladiators able to clean up in front of Hyder again. Honor Moore wires it around the horn to the far wall where Denemy waits for it. That's another turnover for the Gladiators in the spot for a chance. Where the Stingrays, that was Locust firing wide. Couple of bad turnovers there for the Gladiators, and fortunately for them, they were able to come away unscathed. On the right wing, Dealstra has some room. That quickly is shut down by Conroy. Puck will go behind the net. Hofer loses it to less. Now it's Conroy to McNamee on the right wing. McNamee gains the attacking line and digs deeper. From the end wall, McNamee drops it off to Francis. Centering feed, knifed away by Dealstra. Dealstra weaves his way into the attacking zone. Is shoved off the puck upon entry. So South Carolina forced to regroup and reload with 5:55 left in the first period. Stingrays dump the puck in. Whistle here with 5:45 to go in the first period. Atlanta with the lead 1-0 over South Carolina when we come back on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger. Fresh.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Near Gas South Arena, the Gladiators have a 1-0 lead over the Stingrays thanks to Ryan Nolan's 5th goal of the season. He is currently on a 3-game goal-scoring streak. Atlanta, when scoring first this season, is 6-2. Stingrays have been trailing first this season, are 5-3. Neutral zone face-off. Boudon will take it against Kyler Kuka after the Stingrays were offside before we went to break. And Boudon wins it for the Gladiators. Nychuk finds Furiolo on the near wing. Tries to find Sylvester in motion. He gets decked by Thomas. Quickly springs back up to his feet. Puck will meander its way near Gibson. Furiolo keeps it in at the left point. Fires towards the net, hits a leg and goes wide. Walter grabs it in the far corner and works with Sylvester. They get pinned up at the end wall. Mayer there, wreaking some havoc for the Gladiators. And Stingrays try and get it to the line, but not out. Boudon tried to power it towards the net. Ended up getting snatched up by Mayer again. His clearing attempt is stolen away by Boudon. Boudon spins and thinks things over. Centering feed broken up by Webb. Jarvis handles in the neutral zone. Jarvis comes in on the left side. Jarvis holds and shoots, and his shot hits the outside of the net. Cipolone tried to center from behind the cage. Ends up getting snatched up by Gibson. Whistle blows with 4:37 left in the first period.
Trust them, experience, and right here when you need them. Piedmont Eastside.
Face off to the right of Gibson. Gladiators win it. Yoder from the left point fires. Puck pinballs behind the net. Burns has it. Lays it off the right wing wall. Back to Yoder. Another drive goes wide right of Gibson. From the left corner, Cipolone dances away from Krenzen. Finds Jarvis at the line. Across to Yoder. Another shot hammered wide of the netminder. Cipollone now twists it across to Yoder. From the half wall, he shoots again. Goes wide. Jarvis at the left point steers it down low to Young. Behind the cage, tries to wiggle away from Krenzen, but he's not going to be able to do it. Got pinned up against the wall, and the Stingrays skate out to center. Pinard chucks it across for Klimek. Stingrays are offside on the entry, and at the end of that play, a Gladiator was checked. That was Jarvis. Now just gets up to his feet, and we'll head off to the bench for a line change.
Vote now by scanning the QR code on the board. And a big thank you to Peabody Side and Ortho Atlanta for being proud supporters of November.
Scardina will take the face-off against Guzzo at the Gladiator line. Scardina had an assist on Sunday. Stingray is able to blast it into Gladiator territory. And off the wall comes Scardina. Bowling Green product. Turns below the circle. Fires to the slot. And it will escape the zone. The trailer was less, but couldn't quite hang on to it at the line. College night here at Gas South Arena. Nonetheless gets to the neutral zone. Forced to the outside by Guzzo. On the left wing, gets to the corner. Nolan goes to work on the right side. Nolan from low to high, miscommunication, nobody there stationed at the right point. Less there for the Gladiators. We'll send it across to Furiolo. We'll pass it up ahead, looking for Denemy. Stingrays cut it off, and in comes Dielstra on the right wing. Bounces to the slot, shot goes off the blocker of Hyder. And the rebound grabbed by Francis. Dielstra from the red line. Whacks it down to Hyder, who comes out to play it. Puck will go out of play. With 2:42 left in the first period, and we'll see if they rule this delay of game. And they do. So Nychuk going to the box. Delay of game is the call against the Gladiators. We're headed back to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. So, interestingly enough, that is the second time in as many games as we've seen that penalty occur. Nychuk just trying to clear the zone, sends the puck out of play. Did not hit the glass on its way out, and so Gladiators to the penalty kill. Andrew Jarvis got caught that same penalty on Sunday. Is coming with 2:42 left in the first. Leipin swirls it around to Pinard at the line, plays catch with Moore, quickly across for a shot by Leipin. That gets blocked by Jarvis, and the Gladiators dig it out of his skates and clear. 2:20 left in the first period. Stingrays have to start their power play all the way from the back end. Boudon being a pest on the forecheck, shorthanded. Your four for Atlanta right now in the PK. Boudon, Young, Conroy, and Less. Bernard rips it across. Thomas from the right circle was back the other way. Stingrays try and float it on net, and they do, and it's an easy grab for Hyder. He'll freeze with 1:50 left in the first. 1:08 left on the penalty to Nychuk. Stingrays change personnel. Gladiators will keep the same four out there. 2 forwards and 2D. Louis Boudon will take the face-off against Ben Howardchuk to the right of Hyder. Boudon, the product of Lake Superior State. And the Stingrays win it off a contested face-off. Puck is slapped to the wall. Bolson tries to evade Alex Young, and he cannot do it. Good play from Young, and the Gladiators will clear again. Cooley feeds it towards his left. Over the line is Howardchuk. Draws it back off for Cooley. Finds Bolson in the high slot, and he will score. It's a power play goal for South Carolina, and we are tied at 1. That is the first power play goal against the Gladiators at home this season. Snaps a lengthy streak of 17 consecutive penalty kills. And so, Had to end at some point. 1:24 left in the first period. The Stingrays have tied the game. Olsen scored on Sunday. He has scored again. Picks up goal number 6 on the campaign. Olsen's goal comes from Howardchuk and Cooley on the man advantage. Tie this one up before the period's end. So the delay of game penalty from Nychuk proves costly. South Carolina takes advantage. And they're the first team in a long time to solve that Gladiators penalty kill. All tied up at 1. Sylvester and the Gladiators trying to get that one back before the period's end. Nychuk from the high slot shoots. Gibson got a piece of it. Puck went wide. Behind the cage is Scardina. Beats it back up high. Furiolo holds. Delays to Nychuk. He'll dangle. Feed it towards the slot. Goes wide of Gibson. Gets it back in at the right point. Right to the wall. Puck gets pinned up there. 30 seconds left. Out of the far corner is Walter. He gets dragged down. Stingrays able to float the puck to neutral ice and a little bit more. Icing on South Carolina with 21 seconds left in the period. It was a good play by South Carolina on that power play goal. Series of quick passes. Bolson gets some separation, and the next thing you know, he's all alone in the high slot. Able to pick his spot, and he picks it well. Beats Hyder for the Stingrays' first score of the day. Gladiators just 4 shots on goal in the first period. Stingrays have 9. Faceoff will be to the right of Gibson. McNamee will take it. And the Stingrays had possession for a moment, but lost it to Francis. At the left point, Les keeps it in and shoots. Puck flubs wide of Gibson. Puck behind the cage. The ring attempt held in by Conroy. On the far wing, Stingrays knife it away. Softly chip it into Gladiator territory, and that is the end of the first period. All tied up at 1, after 1, at Gas South Arena. Well, Cooper, the Gladiators do get the goal from Ryan Nolan, but they do give up the power play goal, which is a rare instance this season in which they do. South Carolina ties it up after 1. Should be a good effort from the Gladiators in the second period here. We'll have to see.
We'll see. One guy just got caught back skating, and then just had a wide guy. South Carolina just had a wide open guy just for the rip.
So Bolson gets the score after Ryan Nolan opened the scoring 9:29 in. Bolson late in the period on the power play scores for South Carolina, and we were all tied up at 1 after 1. Gladiators this season, when tied after 1 period of play, are 3-2. Stingrays are 6-2 in such instances this season. We come back on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. We will have the first intermission report. We'll talk all about what we saw in the first period, look ahead to the second, and also check the out-of-town scoreboard and check in on what's going on in our YouTube chat as well. All that on the other side of the break here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. As the Gladiators won and the Stingrays won after 1 period of play.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track.
We don't just straighten you out, we empower you.
We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to your intermission report. I'm here with Guy, and we're going to be talking about everything that happened in our first period. But first, let's check out that score. Atlanta Gladiators at 1 with 4 shots on goal, and South Carolina with 1 and 9 shots on goal. Now, I have to say, we came out a little feisty in that first period. I wasn't expecting that.
And the Gladiators came out with a little bit of bite to them, didn't they? And one of Mackin's keys to the game was to play with some jam. Not really sure what that means. It was a little bit up for interpretation, but I certainly think that they did play with jam to start the game. The Gladiators came out physical. We saw some hits from Conroy, Jarvis, and the like, and the Gladiators came out bulldozing the Stingrays. A lot of physical play to start the game.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting, especially the atmosphere here with the fans. It makes it exciting game, and it's fun to watch that way too. But I wanted to talk about those goals. So Atlanta came out, they scored first, and I know that you mentioned the last time we played South Carolina that first goal is very important when it comes to the Stingrays. So Atlanta got that first goal. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, Ryan Nolan scores for the Gladiators, and it's a really nice play. He's able to create some separation in the high slot. Nice dangle towards his left, able to work towards his forehand. And with that separation, creates some room, picks his spot, and is able to beat Mitch Gibson, something that the Gladiators did not do in the last game that they played against Gibson in North Charleston. It was a 33-safe shutout for the Stingrays netminders. So Gladiators are able to solve that early, gives them some confidence. And for Nolan, he's been as on as any Gladiator has been throughout the stretch. 3 goals in his last 3 games. Seems like he's really hit his stride, and of course with that goal, seems like it's only going to get better for him.
Yeah, I wrote down that it was his 5th goal of the season as well, and honestly, the plays leading up to that goal were very good. That line did a very good job of getting, chances on the net there, and I thought that line looked very good that first period.
Yeah, they did. I really like that line with Ryan Nolan, with Ethan Scardina and Peter Morgan. I really felt like in the last appearance that we saw Morgan play in the road game against Jacksonville and the road trip there, I thought that he showed some flashes of being a really good offensive forward for the Gladiators, and he's able to work with Scardina on that shift, who I really think is hitting his stride as well. Able to be really tough along the boards there and create some chances, able to get the puck into the hands of Nolan, who was able to create that chance, which he ended up scoring on. And so good work for that line. Ryan Nolan now ties Alex Young for the team leading goals, and the Gladiators were up 1-0.
Yeah, I actually wrote down Alex Young here. He leads our team with points, with 12 points, 5 goals, and 7 assists. So what is he doing out there that's making a difference for the Glads?
I mean, it sounds a little cliche, but I feel like Alex Young just does all the little things really well. He's able to use his speed to his advantage, but he's also very smart. He knows where he needs to be. He knows what he has to do with his stick. And I feel like he's one of those guys where you can kind of just slide him in anywhere, and he's going to find a way to be productive. And so whether it's winning puck battles along the wall and creating chances, or using his speed or his shot to his best ability, I feel like that's where Alex Young thrives. And this is a guy that the Gladiators picked up at the trade deadline last season, played in a handful of games at the end of the year, and talking to him throughout the course of the offseason through training camp, it really felt like that if he just had some time to stay put in the same place, get acclimated to this Gladiators team, felt like it was only a matter of time before he was going to start to produce for this Gladiators team, and he has to start this season. So now that he's able to, get some reps with the team and really find a home here, things have been looking really, really good for Alex Young. And so I can't wait to see what the rest of the season looks like for him.
Yeah, me too. And unfortunately, we do have to talk about that Stingrays goal. And did our penalty kill take a hit with that one?
Well, I mean, it's rare for the Gladiators to give up a power play goal this season, and they were able to kill off one early in the game, went 18 for 18 over their last 5 games, and a little bit here to the first period, but all good things must come to an end. The Gladiators do give up the power play goal, and again, it was a rare occurrence. That was the first power play goal that the Gladiators have given up at home this season, so again, not something you see too often, but you got to give credit to South Carolina. They were able to work the puck around very quickly. They find Caden Bolson in the high slot. Because of those quick passes and the way that South Carolina was able to execute those passes, Bolson was wide open. There was nobody near him. He had the chance to really step into the shot and pick where he wanted to go, right down the middle. Staring right at Ethan Hyder, had a chance to pick his spot, and he picked it well, and he finds the back of the net. And so Bolson's been red hot for the Stingrays this season. Did have a goal on Sunday, gets another one here today, and he does tie the game late in the first period with that power play goal.
And I know that I wanted to talk about how we lost to them on Sunday, 3-2. So that meant the Stingrays took second place in the division. So if the Glads win today, they'll be tied in second place, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Gladiators with 18 points. A win here today can tie South Carolina for second place in the division. And it really feels like with a season series that's only 9 games long, these two teams won't see each other again until January. Feels like the Gladiators like to make their mark on this game, especially on the season series. South Carolina's had their number in the last 2 games. Atlanta would like to even that season series at 2 apiece, heading into the late stretch of the season series. And I mean, think about this: the first 4 games of the season series, one of them was played in North Charleston. The 3 of them have been played here in this building. So that means the next 4 will be on the road in South Carolina in the season series. You don't want to fall behind in that regard. You want to take care of business at home. So that's why I think this is a big game for the Gladiators, as you don't want to find yourself chasing the Stingrays and having to make up that ground on the road. You want to be able to get those points here at home.
Yeah, I definitely noticed it was a different energy this game than it was on Sunday, with coming out here, getting those big hits in. And let's talk about more of that when we come back from the break.
Sounds good. It's the Gladiators 1 and the Stingrays 1. We are back in a moment on the first intermission report.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. We are tied 1-1. Atlanta has 4 shots on goal and South Carolina has 9 shots on goal. We broke down those goals in our first intermission report, and now we're going to check out the chat to see what everyone is saying, and we're going to talk a little bit about one of our players' his very first game here at Gas South for the year.
Yep. First, let's do a check on the YouTube live chat. It's always good to see what you fans are up to. I know everybody's probably home for the holidays, but we appreciate you tuning into Glads Hockey. So, comment your thoughts on tonight's game, maybe what you're having for Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. I want to see what's up with you guys, so comment your thoughts here in the YouTube live chat. And when we get to that,
what are you having for Thanksgiving dinner, Guy?
You know, I don't know. I'm not too sure yet. I think I'll be hanging out with Jackson Packard and the Packards for Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
So should be a lot of fun. They invited me over, so shout out to my family. They're about 2,000 miles away, so I won't be joining them, unfortunately. But I'd like to thank the Packers for their hospitality. And go check out Jackson Packard. He's down at the merch store. He's our merchandise manager and graphic designer, so all the graphics are created by him. Does a great job, so that should be fun.
I didn't know he made them. Well, anyway, do we want to talk about Zach Yoder's first game here tonight?
Yeah, Zach Yoder makes his season debut here tonight, and he is able to get some action in there in the first period, and looked like the memo for Yoder was to take some shots. We saw that on a shift later on in the first period. And Yoder had been on the IR to start the season. Finally gets back into the lineup here today, and so it's good to see him ripping the puck and shooting it around. I really like that idea, especially for the Gladiators, who, as Matt Ginn said in the keys of the game, trying to get more tip-ins in front of the net, be more of a net front presence. Those kind of chances are created from the back end. So you see guys like Yoder let shots fly from point to point. Either point. I really like that for this Gladiators club. I think Yoder's got the right idea. Good to see him get some good shifts in there in the first period, and we'll see if he can produce later on in the game.
Alrighty, you want to check out the chat?
Let's see what we got going on here. So it looks like we've got Stadium Arena back in here again. You don't have the Atlanta Gladiators white jersey. Well, head on over to the Gladiators team store if you're in the Building Stadium. They got some good deals going on down there on those white jerseys that the Gladiators are wearing tonight. You can also get those jerseys at atlantagladiators.com. Just click the team store button. It'll take you to the online store. Good to see Justin Burke back in the house. Joe Mama checking in from Gas South Arena. Good to see Joe in the house. Good to see Adam says, let's go Glads. Good evening, April, Daffy Dew, Peach Fuzz 27. Got a lot of regulars in the chat here today. Looks like Peach Fuzz wants your autograph.
Me?
And
wow.
Steve Marina's talking about video games.
Oh, someone said canned cranberry sauce is the best.
That stuff is pretty good.
Oh, you agree? I don't think I've ever had it.
It's good. I like it.
I feel like I'm a picky eater. I don't know if I'll.
Okay.
I'm here for
do you like cranberries?
I like dried cranberries.
Then you might like it.
Okay, maybe I'll give it a go this year.
We'll see. Got some fun stuff going on here on the day before Thanksgiving. Gladiators very thankful for their fans. Thankful to everybody who's tuning in here tonight, especially on this fun matchup here between the Gladiators and the Stingrays.
Speaking of that, what do you want to see when we come back?
I think for the Gladiators, I think the first foremost, you got to get more shots on the board. 4 shots on goal in the first period is not going to quite do it. The Gladiators did score on one, which was a really nice one from Ryan Nolan, but I think here in the second period, you just got to get more shots on goal. And the Stingrays do a really good job of smothering the puck. They do a good job of limiting their opposition's opportunities, but the Gladiators need to be a little bit more productive in the second period, and that's something that we did see in Sunday's game. So we know that the Gladiators are capable of doing it against the Stingrays. We'll see if they can do it here in the second period.
Yeah, I definitely, again, I've talked about this before, but I would love to see them win more faceoffs. And then again, I know it's something that coaches talked about, getting those players in front of the net, so we have more chances to get the puck into the net from the tip-ins. I think that's something I want to see more front net presence from the players.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring up faceoffs. That was something that I really thought the Gladiators struggled with early on in the win against Greenville. They were able to kind of get back into it later on in that game and start winning some faceoffs. But it looked like in the early going here in this game, I don't have the official count, but it did look like South Carolina was doing the better job of winning faceoffs here to begin the game. So we'll add that to the Gladiators list. We'll see if they can do a better job of that in the second period and get something going offensively. The Gladiators did get the goal from Nolan on some good offensive zone time. We'll see if they can do a little bit more of that and sustain it here in the second period as they look to retake the lead here against the Stingrays.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping, again, like you mentioned, they came out in that second period on Sunday a lot more energetic and ready to get the puck into the net, and I'm hoping that that's the case for this period as well.
We shall see. Second period coming up in a few moments here from Gas South Arena. It's Atlanta 1 and South Carolina 1. That'll do it for the first intermission report here from Gas South. We'll see you on the other side of the break for the second period. This is the Gladiators Broadcast Network. We are back after these messages.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh. Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track. We don't just straighten you out, we empower you.
We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Up here in the booth joining me is Parker Youngman. Parker, this is your first time on the call. Happy to have you here, my friend.
Happy to be here.
Should be a lot of fun. We got a good second period coming up between the Gladiators and the Stingrays.
Let's hope we can score a few goals.
Yeah, let's hope. Your brother got one for us here in the first period, so see if you can bring the noise here in the second. Give us a little bit of luck. The Gladiators look to retake the lead.
Yeah.
Puck is dropped for the start of the second period. Gladiators go on the attack. Stingrays able to pelt it out of the zone. Brendan Less will skate into it back in his own territory. So the Gladiators do surrender. Power play goal to the Stingrays back in the first period. That ends a run of 18 consecutive power play or penalty kills. And so the Gladiators start the second period tied with South Carolina. Francis battling at the end wall. Takes a bit of a shove from DJ King. Tries to emerge from the corner. With help from Denemy, the puck goes up top to Nychuk. Trades it back off to Denemy. Hacking off the end wall. Behind the net is McNamee. Mike McNamee finds a man at the top of the right circle. It's Denemy. Takes it back in behind the cage. Finds Denemy back at the end wall. Denemy from low to high finds Furiolo. He'll shoot. Blocker saved. The rebound to Boudon. Can't get a shot away. Defended well by Connor Moore. Puck will leak over to King. He'll rainbow it to center circle. Glove down by Nychuk, and he enters the zone. Nychuk drops it off for Walter. Shot is stopped by Gibson. The rebound pinballs to the slot. Nychuk tried to feed it in front. The Stingrays pick it clean. Lipin, left side shot, off a stick and out of play.
That was a high shot, holy cow.
Cody Sylvester got a piece of it with his stick, deflected it out of play. And so we get a whistle.
Do you mind if I ask your favorite player? Oh, sorry. Favorite player? Do you have a favorite player? Or just like...
to quote Penn Campbell, I like them all.
Oh, yeah.
Who's your favorite player?
Probably Jarvis, you know?
Jarvis, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
He's got a really nice mustache growing out for Movember.
Yeah. Or like 37. That's personally my number in hockey, so I like 37. Right. He's cool.
I've met him. Scardino wears number 37.
Yeah, I've met him actually. I think it was... I can't remember. I think it was last Saturday or Sunday. He's a really nice person. He's really cool.
He's a cool guy. Walter comes in from the right wing half wall. Dishes the puck down low. One touch pass by Sylvester does not make its way to Boudon, and so the Stingrays get to center and whack it into the far corner. Lipin drops it off for Pinard. Centering feed. Waiting backdoor was Lipin. Gladiators able to get in front of him. He deals a shot wide of Hyder. Ends up going into the arms of the netminder. Who's your favorite Nashville Predators player? I know you went up to Nashville earlier in the week. You were there on Monday.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really, this may surprise a lot of people because, you know, my dad is Jared Youngman, but I'm not really a sports kind of person, but I'm going to be biased about the number again, probably 37, because, you know, that's my number, so I'm probably going to be biased about that.
Shot by Howard. Chuck reeled in by Hyder. And he will stop play again.
What do you predict the score is going to be this game? At the end of the second period.
I mean, I'll tell you this. Every single game in the season series has come down to 1 goal. The difference has been 1.
Yeah.
So I think that we are trending towards that same direction here today. Probably going to be a lower scoring affair. At least that's what the numbers will tell you. But
could be like
numbers
2-1.
only get you so far.
Yeah, it could be like 2-1. It could go up to like 8-3, like the Predators game. But
Conroy in on the right side. It's bundled up by Cooley. But trickles to Klimek. Cross-ice pass is intercepted by Young. On the left wing, shoots. Goes off a leg and wide. Conroy finds Young. Cipolone on the far wall keeps play alive. From the left point, a shot goes into the glove of Gibson. He will freeze with 17:02 on the clock.
Yeah, it's a big surprise. I'm just not really kind of a sports kind of guy, and I'm more of a, me personally, I'm more of a Lego kind of guy. I love Legos.
Oh, Lego.
I love Star Wars, yeah, so.
Star Wars night's coming up in January.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to say this. It was my idea. I talked to my dad,
Really?
like, hey, you should do this for the jersey. And he was like, okay, yeah. And then a few months later, he's like, yo, well, not a few months later, a few weeks later, he's like, yo, so what were we again? Were we this? Blah, blah, blah. And so I was telling him, yeah, so I'm really excited. I personally want Jarvis's jersey again, you know, because he's my favorite player. But, you know, just the jerseys in general are really cool.
Coming up quick. Shot and a score!
Let's go!
Peter Morgan in front. His first professional goal gives the Gladiators the lead. 3:20 into the second.
Let's go. Beautiful goal right there.
Quick pass from low to high. Morgan stationed in front of the net. Gets his first pro goal, and there's Ryan Nolan again. The setup to Morgan with the finish. And number 55 has got his first. Congratulations to Peter Morgan. He played really well in his last game, the final game of the road trip against Jacksonville. As we were talking about with Shelby during the first intermission report, Morgan was showing some flashes, and Ryan Nolan able to set him up there. 1 goal and 1 assist tonight for Nolan on the setup to Morgan. There's a shot by Kuka that goes high and wide. King to the left circle, takes it back in for a shot that's fought off by Hyder.
That was close. Well, from what I saw, that was close.
2-on-1 up ice. Nychuk across, looking for McNamee.
Come on.
Moore gets in front of it.
Let's
Nychuk
go!
gets it back and scores!
Wow, that's amazing. 2 goals. Wow.
It's a 3-1 Gladiator lead. The steal and score for Nychuk. Atlanta leads by 2.
Let's freaking go, bro. That's amazing.
So the cross-ice feed to McNamee doesn't work out. Nychuk plucks it back and pelts it into the back of the net.
Oh, wait, yo, look
for his
down.
third of the year.
Look down there. There's like something that's like it's like shiny. That's cool. It's like light up. It's like down there. There's a shield or whatever, and that's cool. I like that. I heard it's like Yoder. I think it's his first game this season, right? Yoder's first game. Yeah.
That goal comes 29 seconds after the goal from Peter Morgan.
Wow. That's actually amazing. 29
Chad
seconds.
Nychuk has his third of the year.
Wow.
Gladiators back on the attack, leading by 2.
Let's go.
Pinard weaves his way towards Hyder, gets shoved off the puck by Yoder.
Let's go. Let's hope Yoder can get some goals. Or is he a defenseman? Or
he is a defenseman.
All right, so let's hope we can get some more goals then.
You never know where goals might come from. Nychuk, the defenseman, scored the most recent one.
Sweet.
Nychuk's goal unassisted. As the Stingrays ice the puck. 4:55 into the second. So it should come as no surprise as the Gladiators light the lamp twice here in the second period to take the biggest lead of the night. Second period has been the Gladiators' best scoring period this season.
Well, that's good. Let's hope we can get some more goals on.
Excuse me, that's actually the third period. The Gladiators' second period now tied for their second best. They have as many goals now in the second period as they do the first. But
so next period should be their best scoring period, is what you're saying. Unless we score more goals. If it's been anything
like this, more to follow.
Let's hope we can at least get, a few more goals. If not, then, if no one else gets goals, then that's fine too. But
from center circle, it's a steal for Guzzo. Slides it down where Hyder will come out to play it. Conroy behind the net, whacked off the puck.
That's
Stingrays battling there. Locust is able to rub Conroy off of it, but the Yale product gets back on it. And the Gladiators move up ice. Cipolo on the left wing, tried to feed it to Young in the slot. Stingrays pick it free. And they turn up ice again. Locust to Hofer. Back the other way. In front is Dielstra. And he was all alone, but couldn't rip a shot away. From the line, he'll fire a shot wide. Firiolo behind the net. Tries to evade the forecheck of Locust. Burns will slip it out to the neutral zone. Puck is reeled in by Dielstra. He's able to poke it down to the end wall. Lads were trying to clear the zone.
Let's try to get that
puck. Young has got it. King with it in his own end. Kupka to the left wing for Dielstra. Try to feed it back to the middle. Young is able to intercept, floats it to the neutral zone. Pulled back in by Dielstra. Lost sight of the puck. Morgan steps in. Morgan with his first professional goal moments ago. Kupka cross ice feed. Broken up by the stick of Nychuk. Now Scardina will race up ice.
Come on.
Off the wall, finds Nolan on the left wing. Puck to the slot. Morgan shoots. And that one is absorbed.
That was close, though.
By Gibson. Two quick strikes for the Gladiators, 29 seconds apart. First, it's Peter Morgan's first pro goal, followed up by a score from Nychuk to make it a 3-1 Gladiators lead. When we come back, toodaloo.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gladiators have exploded for two here to start the second period of play. 12:59 left in the second period. Guy Chiarenza alongside Parker Youngman. Face off to the right of Gibson. Gladiators with it in their own zone. Scardina weaves his way to center circle. It's knocked off the puck, draws a penalty, and it looks like Atlanta is headed to their first power play of the night.
Let's hope we can get a goal in the power play.
Gladiators will try and solve their power play woes here. Going to the box is Bolson. Hooking is the call. 12:42 left in period two. The Gladiators to the Eco-Electric power play. Face off on the far circle. Udon wins it at the line. Furiolo across to Sylvester. One-time shot hits a leg, held in by Furiolo.
Did that go out? Oh, yeah.
Puck does go out of play.
I saw the guy. Dude thought it was like, and then he kind of cool. Well, that's cool. You know, you got a free puck.
Goes into about the third or fourth row on the far wall, so we'll get another face-off to the right of Gibson.
Actually, I went out there and pick up the pucks, you know, after warm-ups. I almost said intermission, not intermission, warm-ups. But there were these people, you know, these girls, they had to sign like a puck, please, or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I just gave them a puck. It was cool that they had like a sign, you know. What wasn't the sign? They had it like puck, please, on their phone, but you know, still.
Stingrays will clear. 1:35 left on Atlanta's power play. They'll dump the puck in, goes away from McNamee. Chases it to the end wall. Stingrays get it to the line where it's held in by Furiolo. From the left point, delivers it down below the net. And here's a high check on McNamee. He's able to spring back up to his feet.
That's good.
And rejoin the play.
That's good, you know. Normally sometimes, you know, luckily it's not bad enough that he's not, you know, like a head injury or anything, but
he does head to the bench.
Udon
on the near wall. Goes across to Francis. Enters the zone, 2-on-1. Francis pulls up and fires. And it's stopped by Gibson in tight. And the Stingrays will clear. Cipolone to his left finds Young. Return feed, looking in at the end wall. Puck will jumble over to the near corner where Denemy tried to send it to the slot. Nobody home. Puck will go back down near Hyder. 25 seconds left on the Gladiator power play.
Let's hope we can get a goal in that 28 seconds, did you say? Or?
Lipin on the left wing. Toe drag shot blocked by Nychuk. Waning moments of the Gladiator power play. Down to the last 5 seconds. Out of the box is Bolson. Back to even strength.
Dang it.
Young on the right wing. Slaps it into Stingray territory. He'll give chase. As behind the scenes, the Gladiators get a line change. Bolson with the puck will cycle up ice. On the left wing will chip it in. Conroy there to meet it behind the net. He'll locate Brendan Less, who slides it up to Nolan. A goal and an assist so far here today for Nolan. Really good work here today by this Nolan, Morgan, and Scardina line. King pops it to the neutral zone, simmers down at the line. Howardchuk there grasps it for South Carolina. Finds Guzzo in the left wing corner. Behind the net, finds a man in the corner. From low to high they go. Krenzen to the left point for Klimek, and he can't hold it in. Puck rolled off of his stick, and he is checked hard by Nolan. Divorces him from the puck. 9:30 to go in the second period. Atlanta still leads by 2.
Sweet. Let's hope we can keep that lead or even, you know, make it a more lead, say like 4-1.
Gladiators will look to add to it. As Francis turns it over at center circle. Stingrays come barging in. Locus delivers it to the near corner. McNamee gets in front of it. Francis will find Less, and he will just prod it to the neutral zone. Gladiators able to work in deep. McNamee from the far corner pushes it down deeper to Francis. Puck hopped over his stick. South Carolina with it on the near side. Dealstra working against Yoder. Yoder able to force him off the puck. Battle for it on the near circle. The Stingrays are able to push it to the neutral zone. Stretch pass. Hofer's got some separation. Quickly evaporates, and he takes a backhand shot that's stopped by Hyder.
That was pretty close. Luckily, it didn't go in. But that still
it's a good save for Hyder at the end wall. Players come together. 8:22 left in the second period. Yoder with it on the near side. Gladiators get a line change off the dump in. Kupka for Bolson on the left wing enters, and here's a penalty. Looks like Nychuk got checked well away from the play. It's going to be interference on the Stingrays. Gladiators appear to be headed to the power play when we come back to Duluth. Atlanta leads by 2, 3-1 is your score.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Gladiators have scored twice here in the second period with goals from Peter Morgan, his first pro goal, and Chad Nychuk. The steal-in scorer now has his third of the season. And Atlanta off to a 2-goal lead here with 7:55 left in the second period. And they are now headed back to the power play for the second time today. In the box for South Carolina is Patrick Thomas, got caught for interference.
I see you down there on the line. Where's that holiday spirit?
And so the Gladiators back to the man advantage.
Now that kiss cam on right now.
Gladiators win the face-off. Sylvester from the line flings it across to Francis. From the half wall, gets it back to the line. He'll rotate it over to Sylvester at the right point. He'll wiggle his way deeper. Find McNamee behind the net. Backhand pass on time for Francis from the left wing. Gets it to the line. Furiolo holds, tried to shoot, and lost a hand on the puck, and South Carolina will clear.
Ooh.
Furiolo with it, finds Francis in motion over his own blue line, stops at center red, is able to deke around Hofer. Got the puck in deep, but all in all, the Stingrays able to grasp the puck and send it on its way to Hyder. 55 seconds left on Atlanta's power play. Looks like the puck was played with a high stick there, so there will be a whistle and a stoppage with 6:50 left in the period. Face-off will be to the left of Hyder, so Gladiators stuck in their own end for the moment. See if they can win this face-off. Alex Young will take it, and the Stingrays will win it. South Carolina drains some time off. 15 seconds left, or excuse me, make that 43 seconds left. Numbers are a bit tough to see. It's a black on blue. Gladiators ice the puck. So back down we go near Hyder with 6:32 left in the period. The 38 seconds left on the penalty to Thomas. And the power play, a little bit of Atlanta traffic stop and go motion here. They are stuck back in their own end.
Oh. Who do you think is going to score the last goal? If you're like, you know.
Seems like anybody's doing it these days. Gladiators getting some help from their depth.
Yeah.
Morgan with a goal here today. Nolan as well. Goal from the back end with Nychuk, and it doesn't seem like they're done yet. Walter on the near wall. Lays it down low to Young. He gets tripped up.
Ooh.
No call to be had. At the line, Walter from the right circle fires, hits the leg of King and goes wide. Gets it back in at the right point. Cross he goes to Nychuk. Shot is blocked. Rebound to Walter. From the right, point surveys and shoots, deflected by Young. The rebound is stopped by Gibson. Cipollone was waiting backdoor. Nychuk. And we're across, Denemy to the slot, and somehow, some way, Gibson gets on it, and chaos ensues.
Did you see that? He was like grabbing his neck. Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
Everybody unhappy in the crease. Gladiators just trying to stuff it in as the power play expired. Gibson able to do the splits. And now King wrapped up with Denemy.
Oh my.
And looks like we're going to go to timeout here, but I believe Alex Young is going to get caught with a penalty here. We'll see what the official sentences are when we come back here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Looks like they've got Young and Denemy in the box. King will take a seat, and it appears that if this stands, the Stingrays are going to the man advantage when we come back.
Contestant number 1.
Desserts are popping up on Crumble's menu. All types of dessert.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Gladiators and the Stingrays have been physical all night long. Things boiling over there on that last sequence in the waning moments of the power play. The Gladiators just trying to stuff it in. Gibson does the splits, able to keep it out, and then Alex Young in the crease stirs things up, ends up caught with a penalty, and as does Carson Denemy. DJ King for South Carolina gets a penalty as well, but all in all, you do the math, Gladiators are shorthanded, and the Stingrays go to the power play. So Atlanta's back on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. We'll see how they fare. They start with an opening clear. They'll mail it back down near Gibson. He will leave it for Mayer as the Stingrays are staring down the barrel of a 2-goal hole. Mayer wires it in over to the right wing wall. Puck is flung back down near Gibson, where Mayer will pick it back up. Bolson with it now. Already with a goal here today for the Stingrays on the power play. As the puck around to the right side. Howardchuk met by Nolan, and Nolan cross-checked there. No penalty call, and a bit more nastiness as Howardchuk takes one. 1:07 left on the penalty to Young.
2 minutes, roughly. Atlanta, number 13, Alex Young. 2 minutes, roughly. Number 18, Carson Denoli. 2 minutes.
Puck pinballs in front of Hyder. He's able to put a paw on it with 4:38 left in the period and 50 seconds left on South Carolina's power play.
Oh, you're in this ad. I think, right? You're in this ad?
I am in the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill commercial. Yeah, I was actually in it with your dad.
Yeah.
So your dad's driving the Gladiators truck, and I'm the one that gets pulled out of the back.
Yeah.
Defensive zone faceoff won by the Gladiators. They will hoist it out of the zone. It'll clear here with 40 seconds left on South Carolina's power play. Kupka on the left wing. Rambles on in. Puck is sent out of place. He was defended by Yoder. 33 seconds left on the PK. Gladiators get a personnel change. On comes Burns. Cipollone Nychuk and Les. Face-off formed by the Stingrays. Moore at the line, drifting towards his right. Fakes a shot to Lipin. Now down low, Kupka back to Lipkin. Left circle shot sneaks in. And the Stingrays for their second power play goal of the day. And pull within one. It is 3-2.
Let's hope we can get more goals. That'd be amazing if we get more goals, you know?
And so interestingly enough, for the Gladiators this season, they have now allowed 6 power play goals this year, and every single time that they've allowed a power play goal in a game, they've allowed 2.
Oh, so let's hope this is the only one.
We shall see. But for South Carolina, they get back on the board, and they were able to pull within 1 goal. Klimek feeds it to the neutral zone.
And South Carolina, the goal, number 48, Jalen Lipin.
Goal is scored by Jalen Lipin on the power play to give the Stingrays their second goal of the night. On the left wing is Boudon from the half wall, puts it on goal, turned away by Gibson. The rebound to Sylvester. Heinz Furiolo at the line, tried to chip it back to the captain, had a bit too much heat on it. Walter dragged down in the far corner. Tries to kick it to his stick and does. Finds Nychuk up high for a shot that is blocked by Klimek. On the right wing, hopefully lifted in by Locus. Now Nychuk with it. Locates Young at neutral ice. Cipollone on the right wing, tried to drop it back to Nychuk. Puck goes astray. Cipollone gets it back. Wanted Burns back door, but the pass went wide. Now Young on the left wing. Finds Burns behind the cage. On the left wing, drops it off to Nychuk. Tries to feather it to the slot. Puck pinballs around. It ends up going onto the tape of Mayer, and he will clear to the zone. 2:38 left in the period. In comes Lipin. As the game's most recent goal, wanted Breen on the right wing, but the Gladiators are able to pick it free and sniff it out. Upwards goes Cipollone. 3-on-1. Cipollone shoots, and the save is made by Gibson.
That was a close goal, though. That was a...
Less at the right point. Has Conroy up top. His shot snatched up by Gibson with 2:16 left in the second.
Download the Marbles app. 4 chances to win.
Jalen Lipin scores on the power play from Kupka and Moore. To tie the game, to make it a 3-2 game. The Stingrays pressuring, trying to tie, but the Gladiators trying to take a 2-goal lead again. 2:16 left on the clock.
There was,
here at Gas South.
Was it Saturday, right? We won 4-2.
Gladiators beat the Swamp Rabbits 4-2 in this building.
Let's hope we can do that again, 4-2. Sunday, the Stingrays beat us, right? Let's hope we can beat them this time.
Face off on the near circle, won by Atlanta. South Carolina trying to wriggle it away. Francis able to keep a hold on it. Working in deep is McNamee. From low to high they go. Les across to the left point. Conroy is there. Feeds it to the slot. McNamee peels away and fires. Shot goes off the outside of the cage. Might have hit the shoulder of Gibson. McNamee keeps it alive at the line. Serves it to the trapezoid. Bouncing on the near corner. Denemy able to flag it down, but nothing forthcoming. Puck is picked away by Kupka, and the Stingrays will possess with 1:34 left in the period. Stretch pass goes away from the intended target. Icing on the Gladiators with 1:21 on the clock. Coming up next here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, we will have the second intermission report. We will be rejoined by Shelby. We'll break down what happened here in the first 2 periods of play. Look ahead to period 3, see what the Gladiators need to do to pull away with a win. We'll do a chat check on the YouTube side as well. We'll comment your thoughts on tonight's game and your holiday plans in our YouTube live chat. We'll get to that on the second intermission report. From the near corner, Cooley tries to sneak behind the net. He's cut off by Conroy. Gladiators with the puck.
Ooh.
Wire it out of the zone. Puck goes out of play with 1:09 left in the second period.
Is that another puck out? Wow.
Faceoff will be to the left of Hyder. Scardina will take it against Guzzo. Power truck behind the cage has it. Moves to his forehand. Behind the net, defended by Jarvis. Into the final minute of the second period we go. Puck pinned up against the wall. Creeping out of that area is Yoder. To pop it ahead to Nolan, pass away from him, ends up going down as an icing on the Gladiators again, this time with 47.5 left on the clock.
How long have you been working for the Gladiators? Is this your first season? Or?
This is my first season, yeah.
How long you been working in like hockey in general?
Well, if you include my interning years, this would be year 5.
Wow. I know you interned at the Grizzlies, right? That was yeah. Did you intern for the Glads or just the?
Nope. Just got hired full time in June.
Nice.
Face off to the right of Hyder. Gladiators win it to lift it down the ice again. This time no icing as Peter Morgan turns on the Jets. Connor Moore takes the puck away. Contested puck at the blue line is knocked into the far corner. Yoder chasing after it, gets there first, lifts it off the wall to Morgan. He'll slap it out to neutral ice in front of Scardina. Puck is directed to the near wall where Breen will float it on goal near Hyder. 12 seconds left in the period. Atlanta has it. Up they go to Nolan. Cross to Morgan, off his stick and in. 4 seconds left. And that will do it for the second period.
Dang it. That period went by fast.
Yes, it did. Gladiators with 2 goals, the Stingrays with 1. Both Stingray goals have come on the power play here tonight. Atlanta gets some help from its depth. We'll talk about it during the second intermission report coming up on the other side of the break. It's Atlanta 3, South Carolina 2. Parker, thank you for joining me.
I've had a blast. It's been a blast, you know.
It's been fun.
A great time.
Coming up next is the second intermission report.
Sweet.
Don't go anywhere. We are back in just a moment after a word from our local sponsors.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh. Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track. We don't just straighten you out, we empower you.
We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. I'm here with Guy. We're going to be breaking down the second period. It started off exciting. The Gladiators are at 3 with 19 shots on goal, and then the South Carolina Stingrays at 2 with 15 shots on goal. And Guy, you mentioned right before we got back on this live stream that we're being outshot here.
The Gladiators actually did a good job of outshooting the Stingrays in the second period. It's a bit loud in here, so I don't blame you. I quickly noticed that before we went back on air, so just tried to put that bug in the ear before we came back.
Small ears.
It's loud in this building. We're actually right below these speakers, so everybody on YouTube knows that you hear a lot of the music from we're up here. But anyhow, the Gladiators did a good job of outshooting the Stingrays in the second period, and we talked about that at the end of the first intermission report. Something that we wanted to see a little bit more of the Gladiators in the second period was getting shots on goal. They outshoot the Stingrays 15-6 in the second period. Now they lead the shot count 19-15 here, heading into the third period. So that's a vast improvement for the Gladiators here, heading into the third period.
Yeah, and honestly, we got to talk about those goals. That was crazy. 29 seconds in between both of those goals. And Peter Morgan with his first professional goal of the year. Can we break that down?
Well, the Gladiators strike quick and they strike fast. So first, it's Ryan Nolan. It seems like to be his show here tonight. Ryan Nolan has had his fingerprints all over this game, and really, it's been that whole line. Scardina, Nolan, and Morgan. They've done some really good work that fourth line has. And Nolan's so tough on the puck, so gritty. He's able to work his way to the end wall, and he's able to shift away from the pressure. Notice that Morgan is sitting at the top of the blue paint in the slot, able to shift to number 55, and he is able to just bang that puck into the back of the net for his first professional goal. He showed a lot of flashes of greatness in his last game against Jacksonville, did Morgan. I thought there was a lot of promise to his game. Comes out with a chip on his shoulder here in this one. Again, playing really well on that line with Nolan and Scardina. They combine for the score. Morgan's got his first pro goal, so congratulations to Peter Morgan.
And then we got our second goal from Chad Nychuk 29 seconds after that one.
And Nychuk's been so good this season, so it should be to no surprise that Chad Nychuk factors in on yet another goal for the Gladiators this season. Has done a really good job of distributing the puck from the back end, but now gets another goal of his own, his third of the season. And it was initially a 2-on-1 for the Gladiators moving up ice. Mike McNamee on the other end, and Nychuk actually tried to be a good teammate and dish that puck across unselfishly. Ends up getting broken up by the Stingrays, but the thing that makes that play so fantastic from Nychuk because he doesn't quit on it. He stays with the puck and is able to steal it back, turns and fires. Puck ends up in the back of the net. The Gladiators lead by 2. That was the biggest lead of the night, and the Gladiators were rolling, both of those goals coming 29 seconds apart.
Yes, it was crazy. I was so excited. The fans were excited. We have college night here tonight. Where did you go to college?
I went to the University of Utah.
Okay, nice. I went to Kent State. I don't know if people know that. It's a very small school in Ohio. So.
I know about Kent State. Yeah, my mom actually did some time at Kent State,
okay,
so small
yeah,
world.
Go Flashes. Just kidding. Anyway, let's talk about that third goal by the Stingrays, their second of the night, and again, unfortunately, on the Glad's penalty kill.
A bit of a bizarre night for the Gladiators on the penalty kill. Something that hasn't happened all season happened here today. The Gladiators allow their first power play goal against at home this season. It doesn't happen just once, it happens twice. And so the stat that's added onto that is there have been 3 games this season which the Gladiators have allowed a power play goal. They've got 6 power play goals against. So every time that the Gladiators have allowed a power play goal in a game, they haven't allowed just 1, they've allowed 2. And so that, again, became a theme here today. South Carolina, both of their goals here tonight scored on the power play. So the Gladiators go through a really good stretch of about 5 games where they go 18 for 18 on the PK, and then all of a sudden here today, the Stingrays have solved it. They were able to put the puck in the back of the net, and I think what's working for the Stingrays here today is they're able to work off the wall. The Gladiators do a really good job of forcing their opposition to the outside on the PK. But what the Stingrays are doing is they're moving the puck so fast around that the Gladiators are getting jumbled up a little bit, and they're creating some separation. And they do it again, and this time it's Bolson from the left circle. Again, he's able to get a pretty good shot off. Ends up going below, I believe, on the glove side on Ethan Hyder. Ends up sneaking into the back of the net, and it's a one-goal game again. And that should be surprised to no one. Every single game in this season series has gone right down to the wire and been decided by one. So, of course, the Stingrays make things interesting heading into the third.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to talk about what you think the Gladiators can do to not let that happen and not let these Stingrays come in and tie up the game once again in that third period. But first, we're going to go to a commercial here. And please let us know in the chat what your plans are for Thanksgiving, or since it's college night, let us know what, like, your alma mater. So,
we want to hear from you. So comment down below in the YouTube live chat. We'll do a chat check when we come back here. The second half of the second intermission report. Gladiators 3, Stingrays 2. We're back in just a moment here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh. Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track. We don't just straighten you out, we empower you.
We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to Gas South Arena. We're going to be talking more about what happened during this period and what we want to see. But first, we want you all to comment in our YouTube live stream. Tell us what you're doing tomorrow for the holidays. I know I'm going to be watching Stranger Things. I don't know if anyone else is a fan.
Oh, my sister is a big Stranger Things fan, yeah.
Listen, I might just binge it tonight, who knows. But let us know in the chat what your plans are. Maybe tell us where you went to college, since it is college game night. Just let us know what you're up to and what you want to see from the Glads, maybe. Who knows? But first, we're going to check in with our out-of-town scoreboard. So, Guy, why don't you pull that up for us?
We have got some games going on in the South Division. We'll start in Greensboro. Gladiators have yet to take on the Greensboro Gargoyles, but the Greenville Swamp Rabbits are in their first contest against the Gargoyles here tonight. Start of the third period, things are looking well for Greenville, who we will see on Saturday and Sunday in this building to wrap up the homestand. Swamp Rabbits are up 5-1 at the start of the third period over in North Carolina. Over in Jacksonville, the Icemen are hosting the Florida Everblades, who are currently on top of the division, but get this, after 2 periods of play, the Icemen have the lead 2-1 over Florida in that game. And so that is the lowdown around the South Division. For the rest of you that want to see the rest of the scores, head on over to ECHL.com. You can also watch all the action live on Flow Hockey. Just go to flowhockey.tv and get yourself started over there. But it's looking to be a pretty busy night here in the South Division. Gladiators have the lead here, so could be a big 2 points for Atlanta, a chance to tie South Carolina in the standings. And if Florida loses, climb closer back to first place in the division. And I think a win from Jacksonville would be interesting here tonight because you'd start to see a little bit of separation from the top of the pack to the bottom. If Greenville's able to hang on, they stay closer to that pack. But with Jacksonville potentially beating Florida, kind of evens the playing field a little bit. Florida has played the most games out of any team in the division so far. Again, things very early, but you're starting to get to the time where it's about Thanksgiving now. Around Christmas and New Year's, I always feel like you start to know who the contenders are and who the pretenders are. Right now, it's been a tough going for the Orlando Solar Bears. Just one win on the season. They've lost their last 11, but I don't really think you can count them out either. They've been making deals. They've been making trades. We'll see what the second half of the year looks like for them, but things are still very early, and we always know that the South Division very competitive. So interesting look at the scoreboard from around the division.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what the Glads can do here, because I know it's also an important game for them, because if they win this, then we're tied with the South Carolina Stingrays for that second spot.
And it really feels like that the Stingrays, the Everblades, those are going to be two staples of the playoff picture for the rest of the year. I mean, you can't count out Florida. Eastern won the Kelly Cup 3 years in a row, went back to the Eastern Conference Final last year. South Carolina, the reigning Bradman Cup champions, the best regular season team last year. Shouldn't really be a surprise to most people that those two teams are leading the way in the South Division. I think the Gladiators were slept on by a lot of people coming into this season, and so I think for the Atlanta Gladiators to really prove what they have prove with what they've done so far here to start the season, I think that speaks volumes to what they've been able to do. And so we'll see. It's a crowded bunch to start the season, but there's a lot of hockey left to be played, but the Gladiators off to a good start.
Yeah, what can we expect, and what do you want to see in this third period?
I think for the Gladiators, they did a really good job of using their speed to their advantage in the second period. I felt like at times the South Carolina Stingrays really like to slog down play. They like to play at their own pace, and especially when they had the puck on their stick. You talked about face-offs back in the first intermission. I thought it was pretty even there in the second period, and I thought that when the Gladiators had possession, they were making things happen with it. There were a couple of bad turnovers in the first period. Didn't see as much of that in the second period for the Gladiators. Just felt like they were playing a little bit smarter and playing with a little bit more jam, as we talked about earlier in the tease from Matt Ginn. You mentioned it being very physical. We saw more of that in the second period. The Gladiators have shown a lot of life in this game. They've shown a lot of passion, and they've used that to their advantage. 2 goals in the second period puts them up. They do have the lead by 1 heading here into the third, but something tells me that this game is not done yet. So it kind of feels like this is one of those games where the Gladiators might need at least one more. That fourth line's playing really well. It seems to be the theme today that the Gladiators are getting a lot of help from their depth. Take a look at that third line. Denemy, McNamee, Francis. I think Ryan Francis is due. He's 2 goals away from 50 pro goals. He's been buzzing around as of late. Watch for him on that line. I think he could be a difference maker here in this third period.
Me and Andrew have talked about Francis a lot because Andrew pointed out how patient of a player he is with that puck, and I think that's really important in this game.
And I would argue that Francis might be the best on the team in terms of edge work and skating and just creating something out of nothing. He's very shifty, and so you put him on a line with McNamee and Denemy, 2 guys that when they are open and have a chance to shoot can really hammer it home. I think if Francis can do the heavy lifting there and create some separation to get them the puck, I think that might be the play you need to get that insurance goal and come away with a victory here tonight against South Carolina.
Yeah, and hopefully we can see that tonight.
We shall see. It's been a fun night here tonight at Gas South Arena. College night in the building. Let's see what we got going on here on the YouTube live chat before we head off for the third period.
Okay, someone said University of Pittsburgh, and then tomorrow they're going to cook up a feast and fall asleep about 30 minutes after dinner listening to football or classic rock.
Sounds like a good night, Peach Fuzz 27.
That sounds amazing.
Not a bad plan.
No.
Looks like Peach Fuzz is a fan of Led Zeppelin, Kiss, and Pink Floyd. 3 really good bands there. Looks like Stadium Arena had a Thanksgiving dinner on October 13th last month. Stadium Arena is a Canadian, so we celebrated Canadian Thanksgiving. Tomorrow is American Thanksgiving.
A lot of people saying they're going to watch some football tomorrow. I got to say, being from Michigan, go Lions.
Well, for the Lions, yeah. We got some good games tomorrow. We got the Chiefs and the Cowboys, Lions and the Packers, and then the Bengals and the Ravens to cap things off. Not a bad day of football. Us in the offices will get the day off for the holiday, but there will be an ECHL game tomorrow as Kalamazoo is playing Fort Wayne. So those of you interested, there is some ECHL action going on tomorrow. Should be fun.
All right, well, it looks like it's time to get back to watching what's going on the ice. So again, Atlanta here is 3 and South Carolina Stingrays are at 2. And let's see what we have going on for this third period.
We are back in just a moment here for the start of the third period.
More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gladiators are back for the start of the third period. Puck is dropped and Atlanta has the puck to begin the final frame. Gladiators with the lead 3-2. As we bring in Adam Alexander. Adam, you've been called up to the broadcast booth. Thank you for joining me here for the third period. Should be a fun one.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Atlanta with the puck from their own end. They'll try to escape. Stingrays hem them in. See how aggressive South Carolina will be here in the third period, down by 1, trying to tie the game. Gladiators able to force it out to center. Here is Denemy on the left wing. Feeds it to the middle. Drop pass Francis on the move. Couldn't stuff it in. Got forced to the outside. Bolson there on the back check for South Carolina. At the left point, Furiolo keeps it alive. Looking for Boudon behind the net. He's got him. Cycles up to the line. The Frenchman chips and chases down to the half wall and fires a shot high and wide. Nychuk keeps the play alive at the right wing. Finds Walter below the cage. Shot from Sylvester. It was off a leg and away from Gibson. And the Stingrays will clear. South Carolina works it in deep. Webb keeps it in at the right point. Sylvester tries to push the narrative further and get out to the neutral zone and does. Puck is flagged down by Lipin on the left wing. He'll shovel it around to the near wall. Grabbed by Breen, flung across, shot by Mayer, gobbled up by Hyder. 152 into the third. It's been a pretty good game so far here today, Adam. And feels like it's going to come right down to the wire.
Looking good right now.
Every single game in the season series has been decided by 1 goal. First matchup was won by the Gladiators in this building 2-1 on the 2nd of this month. Next two went to South Carolina, 1-0, a shutout victory for Gibson, 33 saves in North Charleston. And then on Sunday, 3-2 victory for South Carolina. They'll try and push it to the slot. Puck pinballs away. Shot by Klimek goes wide of Hyder. Gladiators able to jolt it back out to the neutral zone. Atlanta did outshoot South Carolina 15-6 in the second period. Did a very nice job of getting shots on goal. They do say that offense is the best defense. We'll see if they can continue that here in the third and add to their lead. Here's a steal for Young. Slaps it wide of the goal. At the line, Jarvis can't keep it alive. Fumbled it a bit, so is forced to drive it down deeper and get off for a line change. Stingrays dump the puck down. It'll be an icing on South Carolina. And so we'll see a face-off down near Mitch Gibson. South Carolina, the affiliate of the Hershey Bears in the AHL, and the Washington Capitals in the NHL. Their jerseys are almost identical to what Washington wears. It's just they got a Stingrays logo on the front. Gladiators jerseys they're wearing here today are very reminiscent of the Nashville Predators Winter Classic jerseys from 2020. Face off to the left of Gibson. Won by South Carolina. Scardina cross ice off the stick of Morgan and in. And the end wall picked up by Mayer. Clearing attempt held in by Scardina on the wall. Finds Morgan from the right circle. Puck leaks to the point. Shot fired wide. Rebound collected by the Stingrays. On the run is Hofer. Finds Dielstra. Wanted to return at 277, but getting in front of it is less. Morgan, the product of SUNY Geneseo. Tried to clear, but can't. Webb tried to put a backhand shot on goal. Didn't have enough heat. Gladiators able to pound it back out to center. 3:30 gone by here in the third period. Dielstra on the attack. Drops it off to Locus. On his forehand. Bangs it off the wall. They just keep trading places. Now they go from low to high. More across to the point. Running down the wall. Stingrays DJ King. Edged off of it by Jarvis. And back out to center, the puck will go. The enemy knocks it in on the left side. He'll chase after it. Moore gets there first, the Atlanta native. Reverses the play back up to the neutral zone. Puck goes off a leg, and Bolson will skate into it. Already with a goal here today. Bolson down to the end wall. Defended nicely by Nychuk. Puck held in at the zone, at the line by Moore. Francis able to steal it away from Krenzen. Hard work by the Stingrays, and they get it back. Bolson to the half wall for Krenzen. Up top, a drive by Klimek is eaten up by Hyder. 15:23 left in the third.
It's your chance to win your favorite players.
Gladiators get a line change in here after the whistle. What have you seen so far here in the third period?
Everything looks good. Looks like we're on track. I like it.
Gladiators up by 1. Faceoff will be to the right of Ethan Hyder. Hyder's been so good for the Gladiators this season. Back in his second year with the club, had 4 shutouts last year. As the faceoff is one to his right. Gladiators can't clear the zone. Pinard to the slot looking for Lipin just away from him. And now he and Yoder go careening into the far corner. Jarvis able to dig it out of that area. Pop it off the near wall to Walter. Almost. Just evaded 22. He will scamper after it to the end wall. Will glove it down. Center in front. And waiting back door was Boudon. Just couldn't tap it in. Walter behind the net now. Moves to the wall. Trades it back to Sylvester. Waiting behind the cage. The captain surveys. From low to high he goes. Connecting with Yoder. Cross ice. On time to Jarvis. His shot is blocked by Klimek. And the Stingrays will weasel their way out to center. And a little bit more. Lipin carries in deep. He'll lug it around the net. Reverses it back to the end wall where Howardchuk is crunched by Yoder. Howardchuk tries to sneak it in, hit the skate of Jarvis, but Hyder on high alert, able to jump on it. That was a good play there for Ethan Hyder. Really had to be high alert there, able to pounce onto that puck. Gladiators get another line change in. That was a good shift for Zach Yoder. Wanted to be a little bit physical there. Yoder, a big guy. He is 6'5", 205 pounds. You can definitely tell from up here. We're very high up at him, but you can tell that Yoder is one of the bigger guys out there. Throws his weight around. Physical presence there. He heads off. Burns on the left wing, races to center. Finds Cipolone at center circle, and he will blast it in. Puck goes off the wall, grabbed by Gibson. Shoveled back out to neutral ice. On the right wing, grabbing it is Cooley. Checked off the puck by Conroy. Puck goes to the slot, reeled in by Howard Chuck. He blows an edge. Able to hang on to it is Mayer, but subsequently turns it over. Cipolone brings Burns into action. On the right wing, he'll delay and fire a shot into the glove of Gibson. He will keep the play rolling. 13:40 left in the third. Gladiators lead 3-2. Atlanta looking to improve to 6-2 on home ice this season. This is Atlanta's first Wednesday game of the year. Nychuk from the red line. Bangs it over to the left corner for Morgan. Helps it back to the opposite side. Nolan leaves it for Nychuk. Scardina now reels it in the far corner. Gets it to the line. A shot by Nychuk. Out in front was Morgan. Trying to pot the rebound off the save by Gibson. Nychuk to the right wing. Furiolo fires. He'll go through the slot and out the other side. Nolan's taken down behind the cage. Scardina tries to keep possession of the puck, but the Stingrays will get it and chip it out to center. Ethan Scardina, the Bowling Green State product, slams it into the near corner and heads off for a line change. Another really good shift for that Gladiators fourth line. Meanwhile, the Stingrays come in. Bolson a shot, fought off by the blocker of Hyder. Moore at the right point, gets it to the circle. Bolson tangled up with Denemy, able to prod it to the end wall. There is Yoder again. Slides it up to the blue line, reeled in by McNamee. Will feather it across the ice for Jarvis. Pops it off the end wall, back to McNamee. Pass from low to high is intercepted by the Stingrays. 3-on-2 up ice. South Carolina with numbers. Drop pass behind Bolson. Stingrays keep it though. Bolson cycles to the left wing. On his backhand, Bolson has it knifed away by Denemy. Atlanta will now start to break up ice. Francis thought he had a man moving on the right wing, but McNamee went to the bench. Stingrays get it back and volley it into the near corner. Les is there. Getting it to the line. Pulled back in by Walter. Forced to the outside. Feeds it to the middle for Boudon. He'll shoot. Pad save made by Gibson. 11:25 left in the third. Atlanta still leading by 1. Here's a turnover to Pinard. Tried to make his way to the net front, but was closed in on by Brendan Less. Now Conroy takes a shot up high. Gladiators wanted the penalty, but will not get it. Conroy back up to his feet. Atlanta with the puck. Isaac Walter has to jam it out of the zone. But boomerangs back to the defense. Brendan Less turns it over. Here's a chance for Pinard. And it's snared out of the air by the glove of Hyder. 10:52 left in the third period. Ethan Hyder keeps it a 1-goal game. Atlanta leads 3-2. We are back in one moment on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
Desserts are popping up on crumble pancakes.
More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Crowd getting fired up here. Gladiators leading by 1. Shot count reached 22-21 in favor of the Gladiators. 10:52 left in the third. Face off in the Gladiators' end. It's to the right of Hyder. Ethan Hyder looking to pick up win number 6 on the year, this being his 7th start. Stingrays win the face-off. Mayer at the left point, serves it down low into the tape of Nychuk. Quickly send it back up to the point, and Mayer returns the favor. Back behind the net it goes. Howardchuk tries to sneak it out in front. Ends up going through the blue paint. Stingrays forced to the perimeter. Guzzo, defended by Nychuk, works it to the line. Cross-ice feed, jabbed at by Burns. Sent back out to neutral ice. Stingrays slam it back in. Hyder comes out to play it. Nychuk finds Burns moving right down the middle. Will drift towards his left, go around Webb, and shoot towards the slot, looking for Young in front. Gibson's able to eat it. Stop time with 10:12 to go. Mickey Burns, pretty quick at him. We saw him turn on the Jeps there and really just slink his way around the boards, set up that good chance. Atlanta looking for a bit of an insurance goal here.
We'll take it.
And this line is stolen the show here tonight for the Gladiators. Scardina, Nolan, and Morgan. Defensive zone faceoff won by the Stingrays. They'll hoist it to the Gladiator line. Their plans get thwarted there, so Atlanta able to knock it down deeper. The Stingrays will try again. Cross-ice feed, stick of Scardina breaks. Cross it goes to Moore. From the right wing, drops it off. Good defensive play in the back check by Morgan. Rubbed a Stingray off the puck. Bolson now with the shot. It's blocked by McNamee. Stays in the zone. Moore to the line. King to the left circle. One-timer is stopped by the left pad of Hyder. Wilson again to King, a one-timer. Shot deflects over the head of Hyder. Puck to the near corner. Yoder is there. Angles it off the near wall and over the head of Moore. Stingrays forced to quickly regroup and reload. Thomas on the right wing feeds it to the slot. Defended well was Kupka by Conroy. Gladiators clear the zone again. Into the final 10 minutes of regulation. 9:09 left in the third. Conroy jolts it to the neutral zone. Pass is picked off by Lipin. Tried to serve it down the middle. Gladiators again doing a nice job of keeping things to the wall. Francis steals it and turns it over. Breen has a trailer for a shot that goes high and wide. Gladiators catch a break there. There's another turnover out in front for a backhand chance, and Hyder makes the save.
Great save.
He stops Bernard and keeps it a one-goal game. Ethan Hyder making save after save here in the third, keeping the Gladiators in this one. They still have the lead 3-2 when we come back here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger.
Back here at Gas South Arena. Glads have the lead 3-2. Ethan Hyder coming up clutch here in the third period. Keeping it a one-goal game. No goals so far here in the third period. Sylvester, the former Stingray, finds Walter on the move, and here he goes. Walter down the middle. He'll shoot and had his stick lifted at the last second. Didn't get a lot on it. That was a good back check there for Jordan Klimek. Now here's a chance for Furiolo. That is directed away from the net front. Stingrays turn it over. Walter drops it off. Boudon to Nychuk. At the line is Furiolo. Fakes a shot, returned it to Boudon. Able to wriggle his way deeper. Wanted Sylvester in the slot to pass the tab behind, and the Stingrays able to jolt it down the length of the ice. It's an icing on South Carolina with 7:54 left in the third. Adam, Isaac Walter's another one of those guys. He's very big, but boy, can he move. It seemed like 1 second he's at the red line, and next thing you knew, he was right in front of the net.
I'm impressed.
I've seen it a couple of times so far this season, but every time he does it, it kind of catches me by surprise. He's a pretty big guy and somehow just finds a way to go from 0 to 100 real quick. 7:54 left in the third period. Face off to the left of Gibson. Alex Young will take this face off for Atlanta, going up against Patrick Guzzo. Atlanta's won it. Young from the circle fires, save by Gibson, the rebound. It can't be put in by Simpalone. Conroy leaping, keeps the play alive at the right point, gloves it down, and ends the Stingrays deeper in their own end. Second opportunity to clear, goes higher over the head of Conroy. Don't think he could have jumped up to grab that one. What an effort there on that last sequence. Conroy angles it off the far wall to the neutral zone. Puck boomerangs back to his D partner for the moment in Brendan Less. And now we'll leak over to the near corner. Another icing on South Carolina. 7:10 to go in the third. This third period here starting to shape up into a little bit of stop-and-go action. Whistles every now and then, but the Gladiators will take it with an icing. Tired Stingrays stay out on the ice and get an offensive zone face-off draw. Be in the far circle, Morgan, Scardina, and Nolan logging more minutes. That's the trio of forwards, Furiolo and Nychuk, the two defensemen. Stingrays win the D-zone draw. They'll bang it out of the zone, and no, they will call an icing on it. Looked like for a second they thought about not, but Furiolo able to get a step, and he was actually being pulled by the back of his jersey by Locus, trying to slow him down, but Furiolo does get there, beats him out. Back down we go near Gibson. Face off on the far circle. Won again by the Stingrays. This time they muscle out to center. Furiolo will catapult it into the far corner, and this time it's an icing on the Gladiators. It's like Atlanta traffic, stop and go, back and forth. This will pay a visit to Ethan Hyder, who has put together a very good night to this point, stopping 21 of 23. Face-off will be to his right. Scardina will take it up against Lipin. One back to Furiolo. Scoots it over to Morgan on the near wing. They'll jam it out to center where it's grabbed by Nolan. Nolan drops it off. Trailer is Nychuk. He'll fire! Save is made by Gibson, and he didn't know where the puck was. Puck was scooped up near him by King. Sent the length of the ice. And another icing.
Holy
and
cow.
after the whistle, Furiolo is checked hard by Lyndon Breen. And that should draw a penalty. Furiolo down. Hopefully he is all right. Looks like he will be able to get back up to one knee. And well, good on Lyndon Breen. Showing a little sportsmanship there. I don't think he meant to do that. Gives Furiolo a tap. Just saying, hey, you all right? Both guys get back up, but it looks like Breen is checking his own shift list for some blood. So we'll see what the verdict is here. Gladiators head coach Matt Ginn speaking to our referee tonight, Tyler Haskell. We shall see. The arm is raised, so we're going to get something here. maybe not. Maybe it's just the icing. Looks to be the case. So no penalty on that play. Just an icing on the Stingrays. And I do believe that was an accidental play. Breen is headed down to the Stingrays locker room, so we'll see if he's able to return. 6:33 left in the third. Just a hard play. Both guys racing towards that puck, and it's actually why the rule for an icing was changed a number of years ago, starting at the NHL level, and then really adopted throughout the course of hockey. But it used to be that whoever run the race to the puck, that was going to be the rule in the icing. So if the defenseman chasing it into his own zone won it to the puck, then it would be an icing. The guy on the opposite end beat him out to it, and the play would keep moving. But they changed it to being, since whoever wins the race to the dot, that would determine if it would be an icing or not. But that play and that whistle didn't really come until a little bit later, and I think that's why we saw Breen and Furiolo kind of get caught together there in the near corner. So now they're scraping up some blood, so it looks like Breen was leaking a bit. And obviously he has gone off to the locker room, so he did need some medical attention. So again, hopefully he's all right. Furiolo appears to be out on the ice, and he will take this next shift. But yeah, I think if that whistle's blown a little bit earlier, it's so tough to tell though, because it was about a half step Furiolo had on Breen. Those two guys go into the boards, and I initially thought that maybe there would be a penalty on that just because of the nature of the way it looked, but just from what my memory can recall, all in all, it's just two guys playing hard to the puck. And unfortunately, Breen suffered a bit of an injury there. Face off to the right of Gibson. Back to live action. Stingrays have it. And France is able to steal it away. Lipin fumbling about. This takes it from his skates, and now Furiolo will jolt it into Stingray ice. These two teams will not meet again until late January, so if you got something to say it now. Things have been physical so far today as Furiolo picks off a pass at the Stingray line. Drops it off for Boudon. He'll hold and shoot and score! Louis Boudon puts the cherry on top. The Gladiators have their 2-goal lead back. It's 4-2 with 5:56 left in the third. Series of drop passes. They get it to Boudon. And the alternate captain for the Gladiators able to rifle a nice shot by Gibson for the score. For Louis, that is goal number 4 on the season. And he does already have an assist today on the goal from Nolan that opened it all. Stingrays trying to get it back. Shot by Kupka. Goes high and wide. Now a long ranger into the glove of Hyder. Gladiators lead by 2 once more. 4-2 is your score. 5:33 left in the third. Gladiators will look to close this one out when we come back.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings Official Championship.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Gladiators lead 4-2. Louis Boudon with the most recent score. Atlanta's got its 2-goal lead back. Boudon's goal assisted by Anthony Firiolo. Stingrays in front, backhand try. Hyder has made the save. Keeps it a 2-goal game. And the shot goes wide of the UConn product, and now they're able to stuff it in. Crashing the crease, the Stingrays score, and it is Patrick Thomas making it a 1-goal game again. Well, don't go anywhere. A bang-bang play from low to high they go. Thomas in front, barreling towards the net. Goes upstairs on Hyder for the score. That goal coming 40 seconds after Louis Boudon restored the Gladiators' 2-goal lead. Blink and you miss it. The Stingrays score. Thomas from Bolson. And we are not done yet.
And that South Carolina goal was scored by number 17, Patrick Thomas, with assists from 18, Kyler Kupka, and number 26, Caden Bolson. And it comes at
Here is Burns racing in on the right side, drops off for Cipollone. Shot is blocked. Howard takes it to the end wall. Stingrays now with a series of quick passes, get to the red line, dump it in and get a line change in. And that goal from Thomas, his second of the year, really kind of changes the approach here and how the rest of this game will play out. Because once again, the margin is 1. Bolson on the right wing. Scampers around the net, tries to pivot back to his backhand. Firiolo is there defending. Can't clear the zone at first, but now will. Brushes it towards his right. Nolan comes flying in. Around the net on his forehand. Loses a touch on the puck. Stingrays get it back. Locus on the left wing. Gains the attacking line. Tries to turn it to Thomas, but he gets closed in on, so they force a shot wide. Puck is angled to the near wing. Firiolo takes a jab at it. Stingrays put it on goal. Hyder makes the save and keeps play rolling. 3:40 left in regulation. Stingrays lift it to the net, and Kupka couldn't glove it down in front of Hyder. Instead takes it in at the end wall. Deals it over to the left wing for Mayer. Up at the line, a shot by Cooley. Hits a body and goes wide. On the near half wall, Locus has a man behind the net. Kupka on his forehand, tried to go back upstairs just like Thomas did. This time Hyder makes that stop, and the Gladiators will clear the zone. They get a line change in. A little over 3 minutes left in regulation. Stingrays ice the puck with 3:02 to go. Well, Adam, we thought Gladiators were probably cruising towards a victory there with a 2-goal lead, and the next thing you know, 40 seconds later, the Stingrays come rallying back, right back where we were before. 1-goal difference.
Well, we've got 3 minutes, 2 seconds left, so we'll see what happens.
Gladiators will look to close it out. Face off to the right of Gibson. Stingrays have it. Quickly moving upwards is Pinard. He is dangerous. Pinard left wing shot, kick save Hyder. The rebound available for Hofer. And on the back check, Francis rips it away and clears the zone. What a play by Francis there. Franzen shot from the right wing. Sticked away by Hyder. He'll come out to play the puck as the Stingrays chip it down deeper. Off the wall, Denemy can't pelt it out. Pinard tried to brush it back to Hofer in the slot. Gladiators force it to the outside. Yoder is there defending in the far corner. Tried to jab it up to Francis. Hits the skate and the Stingrays get possession back. Krenzen from the right point shot is blocked by Denemy. Rebound to Jarvis. They'll turn up ice. They'll brush it out to the neutral zone. 2:07 to go. Krenzen from the red line. Bombards it in. Around it goes to Sylvester on the far wall. The captain pelts it out to the neutral zone. Takes it in on the right side. Clearing attempt goes to Stray. Sylvester fires and scores!
Holy cow!
Cody Sylvester restores the Gladiators' 2-goal lead for the 3rd time tonight. And hopefully, this time, that's enough. His 2nd goal of the year. Sylvester hits pay dirt. Well, what a night this has been. Looks like the Stingrays have called their timeout. Dave Warsofsky, their head coach, giving his guys a little bit of a breather. 1:49 left in the 3rd period. Good comment there on YouTube, Peach Fuzz 27. Signed, sealed, and Sylvester. The captain comes up clutch in a moment where they really needed him to. 2-goal lead again, and depending on how this face-off goes, I think that'll dictate probably the next 20 seconds or so, because if the Gladiators win this face-off, they have a chance to get things going in the Stingray zone and keep Gibbs in between the pipes. The Stingrays, as long as they do not have the puck, they can't pull him and send it to the bench, otherwise the Gladiators would score in the empty net. If the Stingrays win the face-off, then they can set up shop and get to work. It gives them a lot more time to work with. So we'll see how this face-off ends up going. Looks like it'll be Boudon to take it for Atlanta. Kupka for South Carolina. Sylvester's 2nd of the year is unassisted, coming with 1:49 left in the 3rd. Gladiators do win the face-off, and in comes Boudon. He'll hang on to the puck, trying deep towards the net. Gets cut off by Moore and sent to the end wall. And so there you have it. Because of the face-off victory, the Gladiators do shave off about 20 seconds off the game clock. South Carolina comes back in. To the bench goes Gibson. 6-on-5 for South Carolina. Pinard at the left. Point deals it across to Moore. At the right circle, he will connect with Kupka. Return feed back to the line. Pinard across, off the skid of Sylvester. He'll dive and get it out to the neutral zone. Stingrays forced to reset with 1:05 to go.
We've got 1 minute left to go in the game.
Moore at the right point, keeps the play alive, overskates it, but keeps it in. Pinard fires, Hyder the save, the rebound poked away by Conroy to the empty net. Walter, it is good! He scores, and it is 6-3 Atlanta, and there's no doubt about it this time. The Gladiators will get the win. This is the most goals the Gladiators have scored in a game this season, and everybody is treated to a large helping of goals here on the night before Thanksgiving.
We've got an unassisted empty netter from number 22, Isaac Walter. His
Unassisted, Walter puts in the empty net. 3-goal lead for the Gladiators. They do ice it. Or, excuse me, they don't. The game clock froze for a second. I guess they'll just let that go. 28 seconds left. Guzzo fires wide. Long chance kicked away by Hyder. 20 seconds left. Jarvis pins it up against his own end wall. Puck leaks over to the opposite corner on the far side. Yoder gets a piece of it. Scardina is there. Held at the line. Shot goes wide of Hyder. 5 to go. Fans are counting it down. We'll let them tell the tale. A shot went into the belly of Hyder with 7/10 of a second left, so a bit unfortunate there for Glads fans. They really wanted to count that out to the end, but we'll probably have one more face-off, and we'll call it a night. An offensive outburst for the Gladiators here on a Wednesday night at Gas South Arena. Gets the job done. And so now Tyler Haskell The referee talking to the clock operator. See if they put any time left on the board. But all in all, it will be a Gladiator victory. They will even the season series at 2 games apiece. These two teams will meet again on January 23rd in North Charleston. Atlanta will welcome the Greenville Swamp Rabbits to the building. And that is it. No time left. The Gladiators will win 6-3, your final score. Atlanta continues to buzz. They're back in the win column and back in a big way. A season-high 6 goals. They take down their rivals from the coast.
Your Gladiators brought their record to 10-4. They entered the double-digit.
Atlanta improves to 10-4. South Carolina falls to 10-6. The teams are tied for second place in the South Division. Atlanta gives their fans a heavy helping of goals here tonight. A season-high 6. And they hold South Carolina to 3. That is your final score. Coming up next here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, it's the post-game show. We'll wrap this one up with the 3 stars. Look ahead to this weekend's matchups on Saturday and Sunday against Greenville to wrap up the 5-game homestand. What a night for Atlanta. They get their 10th win of the year with a 6-3 victory over South Carolina. We are back in one moment on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. To the 3 stars here tonight, your 3rd star of the night with his first professional goal here today, playing on that electric 4th line. It is Peter Morgan, wearing number 55. 3rd game of the year, scores his first goal, the product of SUNY Geneseo here on college night. It's goal number 1 of many in his career. 2nd star of the night, Louis Boudon, the alternate captain for the Gladiators. Boudon finishes the night with 1 goal. Looks like they took an assist away from him earlier in the game, but nonetheless played a big factor in the win. And with 1 goal and 1 assist here tonight, your number 1 star is Ryan Nolan on a 3-game goal-scoring streak. He is downstairs with Miss Emma Harp. We'll see if we can tap in.
Trying to get pucks in the net, to be honest, and just getting some good bounces around. Incredible. Now, we got a little bit of a break here, Thanksgiving tomorrow. What's the plan for preparing for these weekend games coming up? Get a good meal, not much changes, and be back here Saturday. Incredible. Now, a bit of a fun question, different from usual, because it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. What are you looking forward most to? I got some family in town, just spend everything, and gear up for this weekend. Incredible. Thank you. Congratulations.
Ryan Nolan is your first star of the night. He now has 3 consecutive games with a goal. He has been electric for the Gladiators as of late. And that 4th line really stole the show for Atlanta here today. Morgan, Scardina, and Nolan, the trifecta for Atlanta. Ladsmania, the fans here in this building buzzing. They are treated to a win on the night before Thanksgiving. They head home happy into the holiday. Smiles all around here in Duluth. Well, let's get to the recap here. Seemed like wasn't going to be a whole lot to talk about entering the third period. Thought that was going to be more of a lower scoring game. It ends up being that is not the case. The Gladiators end up scoring a season-high 6 goals in today's game, so go figure. It ends up working out quite nicely for the Gladiators offensively. Getting the scoring started was Ryan Nolan, 9:29 into the first period, assisted by Conroy and Les. So there has been a couple of scoring changes since we first started the night. Nolan from Conroy and Les, that is the score that opened things between these two clubs. South Carolina was able to attack on a power play goal later on in the first period. 1:24 left in the opening frame. It was Caden Bolson from Ben Howardchuck to Stan Cooley on the man advantage to make it a 1-1 game, and that was something that has not happened really all that often this season. The Gladiators allowing a power play goal, and it's something that hadn't happened. The Gladiators allowing a power play goal in this building. That was the first time that it happened. And it actually happens more than once here today, but we'll get to that in a second. So the Stingrays tie the game on the goal from Bolson. We go to the second period, all knotted up at 1. Peter Morgan. Congratulations, he has his first professional goal. 3:20 into the second period. Ryan Nolan gets the play started, able to dig deep below the goal line. Notice that Morgan is out in front of Gibson. Set up and ready to fire in a shot if he could get it to him, and he does. And so Morgan right on the doorstep, able to send a shot barreling past Gibson for his first pro goal. So congratulations to Peter Morgan, the product of SUNY Geneseo. It's number 1 of many. Then just 29 seconds later, the Gladiators come running up the ice. It's a 2-on-1. Nychuk tries to feed it across to Mike McNamee. Stingrays break it up, but Nychuk doesn't quit on the play. Gets back to the puck. Able to get a spinorama in and fire into the back of the net. 3-1 Gladiators lead. That would be their first 2-goal lead of the night. South Carolina did respond, though, as later on in the period, Stingrays go back to the man advantage, and they get their second power play goal of the day. This time, it is Jaden Lipin from Kyler Kupka and Connor Moore to make it a 3-2 game. So things got interesting there. Stingrays pulled in within 1, and talk about how good this Gladiators penalty kill has been this season. Today was a bit of an off night for him, and interestingly enough, this season, when the Gladiators have allowed a power play goal in a game, they haven't done it just once, they've allowed it twice. There have been 3 games this season out of the 14 played to this point, but the Gladiators have allowed a power play goal in. They've got 6 power play goals against this season. In every single game, the Gladiators have allowed a power play goal in. They've allowed 2. Go figure. But Gladiators able to overcome it. And they do end up gutting out a victory. Head to the third period. Atlanta up 3-2. Louis Boudon later on in the third period, 5:56 to go, is able to score to make it a 4-2 Gladiator lead. That's their second 2-goal lead of the night. That gets taken away again. Stingrays close back within 1. Nifty shot from Patrick Thomas, coming just 40 seconds after Boudon's goal, makes it 4-3 game. But Atlanta would get his 2-goal lead back for the third time tonight, and that would be the charm. Signed, sealed, Sylvester. Cody Sylvester gets his second goal of the year. The captain comes up clutch, 1:49 left in the third. He is able to wire in a nice-looking shot between the circles to make it a 5-3 Gladiator lead, and then Isaac Walter puts the cherry on top. It is an empty net goal for Walter with 48 seconds left to make it a 6-3 Atlanta victory. And that is your final. Ethan Hyder here tonight made some big saves to start the third period, and we can't forget about that, because when the Stingrays were closing in, pressuring, trying to sneak something in, Hyder was there to close the door. Played very well tonight, stops 28 of 31. As for Mitch Gibson, ends up stopping 23 of 28. Uncharacteristic night for Gibson. We've seen him be very, very good throughout the course of this season when the Gladiators have seen him. Think back to Gibson's shutout of the Gladiators, 33 save shutout on the 14th of the month in North Charleston. Didn't really see that tonight here from Gibson. The Gladiators really had their way offensively. Season-high 6 goals for the Gladiators here today. Special teams battle was won by South Carolina, but Atlanta is still able to pull out the victory. Gladiators go 0 for 2 on the power play and 1 for 3 in the penalty kill. But it ends up being that the theme recurs the same. Gladiators get it done 5-on-5 this season, and that is the difference. So South Carolina does get the 2 power play goals, but Atlanta able to breeze by them 5-on-5, and Atlanta does come away with the victory. So that evens up the season series at 2 games apiece. These 2 teams will not meet each other again until January 23rd in North Charleston. That will be a very interesting game because that will be the first game of the Gladiators' longest road trip of the season. So that trip starts in South Carolina. They go for 2 in Orlando, then 3 in Florida, and then they wrap it up on February 3rd in Greensboro. All in all, on that trip, the Gladiators are looking at a 7-game road trip. I believe that's about 7 games in the span of almost 2 weeks. I think it might be 11 days, if my memory serves correctly. But that'll be a fun one for the Gladiators, and they will start it in North Charleston. And that'll be the next meeting between these 2 clubs. And so we'll see what that'll look like. And I'm sure these 2 teams will look very different from now to then. So I talked about it earlier in the first intermission with Shelby. It really felt like here today, Gladiators on home ice had to take care of business here against the Stingrays. It is still early. The standings are still kind of shaking out to where you can kind of tell who are the contenders, who are the pretenders. But as of right now, you want to be able to get those points on the teams that you know are going to be good, like Florida, South Carolina, at home when you can, especially since for the final 5 games of the season series are going to be in North Charleston. So for the Gladiators to pick up 2 critical points here today that I'm sure will prove pivotal down in the playoff race for Atlanta. They do it in a big way. 6 goals on the board. And the Gladiators win by 3. 6-3 your final score. And now we turn our attention back to the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. So we opened up the 5-game homestand with Greenville. We will close the 5-game homestand with Greenville. Swamp Rabbits are in action here tonight. Last we checked, they were up 5-1 over the Greensboro Gargoyles. Do one more look around the league, and you got a barn burner over there at First Horizon Coliseum in Greensboro. The Swamp Rabbits take down the Gargoyles 8-1. So Greenville improves to 8-7. They stay in the mix, and it becomes a crowded group here in the South Division. 3-point game in Jacksonville. The Icemen take down the Everblades 3-2 in overtime. And, of course, here today, the 3rd game in the South Division, Gladiators win 6-3. So what we learned here today is that there's a lot of parity in this division. So Florida does get a point. They stay on top of the division, but it becomes a much crowded group here with the outcomes that we saw here tonight. So Atlanta now with 20 points. They're tied with South Carolina. Jacksonville up to 18. They're 2 behind those 2. Florida up to 22. We've got a 2 spot on South Carolina and Atlanta. Savannah's idle here tonight. Then Greenville picks up a win. So now Greenville's in 5th, leapfrogging over Savannah. And Orlando on an 11-game losing streak. I don't know if I count them out either. You think about Orlando being a team that has a new head coach in town here this season. They were a playoff team last year. Still a lot of guys from that group from last year that's on their roster this year. We'll see if Orlando is able to turn things around. With an 11-game losing streak, it will be difficult for them, but something tells me that they will make a push at some point. So it's going to be an interesting season, and we hit the Thanksgiving mark. So this is one of your real benchmarks of the season. At this point, you can kind of tell who's legitimate and who is a pretender. And as of right now, outside of Orlando, it is a crowded group in the South. You think about Savannah at 15 points, Florida at 22. That is only a 7-point margin from 6th to 1st. And that can evaporate very, very quickly, as we know. So, for the Gladiators, just got to keep winning, and that's what they do here today. They get back in the win column, pick up win number 10, and they'll look to do it again against Greenville, who they beat 4-2 on Saturday in this building, on Saturday and Sunday night to wrap up the homestand. And it is critical that the Gladiators pick up wins here at home, especially here towards the end of the month, because in December, don't have a lot of action going on here at Gas South Arena. The Gladiators will go to Jacksonville for 2 games on the 5th and 6th, back here on the 7th to play Jacksonville, and then the Gladiators go across the country to Utah for a 3-game set with the Grizzlies, who we saw here on opening night. So the Gladiators are going to start logging their miles. They're going to start earning their hotel points here in a little bit. So make sure you get yourself in a good position to go on the road, pick up some points at home, feel a bit more comfortable out on the road. So should be interesting. Greenville coming off a big win against Greensboro. Their vibes are going to be riding high. Gladiators will look to crush their spirits this weekend here at Gas South Arena. Once again, your final score, Atlanta 6, South Carolina 3. Would like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving on behalf of myself, Shelby, and the rest of our crew here at Gas South Arena. For the Gladiator staff and everybody involved, wish you a happy and safe holiday. Spend some time with your family or your loved ones or your friends. Hope you have a good time. Get some good food in, and it should be a whole lot of fun when we come back to take on the Swamp Rabbits on Saturday and Sunday. We are thankful for all of you, thankful for you watching and listening wherever you are, whether you're on Flow Hockey, whether you're on YouTube. We are thankful and appreciative of your support, and we wish you all a very happy holiday. Once again, your final score, Atlanta 6, South Carolina 3. Big win over the Stingrays. Atlanta sets a new season high for goals in a game. They were able to shoot down the Stingrays with 6 on the board. Next broadcast is on Saturday night against Greenville. 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 puck drop. Make sure you're there, and make sure your belly's full after a very happy Thanksgiving. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long, and we'll see you back again on Saturday night, the latest edition of the I-85 rivalry. Good night, everyone.